Hi, everybody. Amelia. Hi, Alex. And if you didn't notice, Alex, you got a little wrench next to you now. Hope that's okay. I threw it at you before the live. Like, here, catch Alex.
Beautiful Miss A.
Hi, Jean. Missy. Let's see who else is in here. Rose Petal. Jeanette.
Hey everyone, did I just only now unmute?
There's
You weren't
Christine.
unmuted?
No. I was busy yelling at my kids a few minutes ago, so
I know you. She's like, ooh, I got you back. I got you back, girl. Hi, Tamara.
Christine G does awesome intros, and now she has me noticing fonts.
That's
so
a badass intro, though. I don't even know how I'm ever going to want another one because I love that one so much. Seriously,
I like the guy at the desk, and he's like Googling his case and whatever. Like,
I like it
I just
all.
always
It's
at the
all
end, I'm always like, dun, 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 dun. Like I was getting a little head bob going. All right, the dogs are wrestling, so that should be fun. You ladies are so pretty. Aww. All right, so we've got a lot on our agenda tonight. Sorry that we were running a little bit late. We were getting everything squared away on the back end, and saying all the fun stuff that you can't say live. All right, so we got a few cases that we want to talk about tonight.
Trigger warning tonight.
What'd you say?
It's a trigger warning tonight.
Oh yeah, there's a lot going on. Let's see, no refunds or exchanges on wrenches.
so fun.
Right, you guys, seriously? You couldn't have wrestled an hour ago? My husband's coming to get her. Goodness. All right, so what are we talking about tonight? Michelle, what do you got? What do you got for us tonight?
We'll start off with our little 12-year-old hero, we'll call her tonight. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar, have seen this case around much, but Wednesday, I believe it was reported that on Monday, a 12-year-old.
All right, you guys hold on the fort really quick. I'll be right back. I got to go take care of this. Oh, Jeanette's a member now. Go with it. And if everybody didn't notice, Jen Lou's here tonight. Before we get any further into the story, Jen Lou, and she just like fits right in. Look, she's got her own name up here and everything now. So she's just part of how it goes. But I'll be right back.
okay. Thank you.
I said it in the
I'm
beginning.
fancy now.
I was probably echoey. But for anybody who hasn't seen the case, 12-year-old little girl she was being held hostage in her home, I believe, for a week and a day, along with her mother, her 14-year-old younger brother, and a man named Jose. They're still looking to identify some other family members. They're not quite sure exactly who was home when it happened. We're just looking at the earliest reports of this, so we have very little right now. So basically, she was held captive for over a week. She was tied to a bedpost. She was given alcohol and drugs to basically keep her sedated. Throughout all of that, she happened to basically chew her way out of her restraints, basically freed herself, ran out of the house onto the road right by the home. Luckily, there was a passerby driving by. He called 911. She was then taken in immediately right from where she was. When she was taken in, the sheriff said she did very, very well as far as explaining, considering her condition. She did a very good job as to explaining who, what, when, where, and the little bit of the why that she knew of. Then law enforcement went back to that home, found the two identified bodies. They're still identified. And then I believe it was 24 hours later, they came to arrest Jose at a construction site that he was working at. Mind you, he was leaving the house throughout this week. We don't have clarification of when when he allegedly murdered the two that have been identified so far. So that's kind of where we are. The 12-year-old little girl, she is not with family yet. She's still with Human Services, and they're saying, considering everything that she has went through, she's doing very well. She was treated at the hospital. She has no, outside of, from her restraints and things like that, she's pretty much physically okay. He did attempt to essay her. Again, there's no clarification if that actually went down or not. I'm sorry, I have a hard time saying this. There is no charge for that. I don't know if we want to wait for Teresa to come back to go over the charges, but so basically Jose was the boyfriend of Sandra, which is the little girl's mother. We're kind of unclear what child could possibly belong to him, and there are a few siblings in this. Some two are definitely related, meaning have the same mother and father. The other siblings are a little unsure. So that's kind of where we are right now in this case.
So coincidentally, like this is like a story of like this. She's 12, the girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the girl's like a total hero. So coincidentally, there's another case that I just saw today with another 12-year-old little girl that was attacked by her father, and
It's crazy.
and he actually did unalive her 3-year-old little sister, and then she played dead while he unalived himself, and then she ran from the home. She ran a mile to the McDonald's her mom was working at, and so they're like also praising her to be a hero, but like so close together, these two 12-year-old little girls,
Wow.
Really showed the strength to survive and heroed.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
They endure whatever had happened, and then they manage to find the strength, the courage. I mean, look at these children when you think about it. One was fully restrained, chewed her way out, and then the other physically played dead and watched everything happening around her.
Yeah.
And then kept their wits about them to not just escape,
Yes.
but to escape to safety. No, to run a mile away is a lot. I mean, after seeing something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they said so. The one that ran a mile to McDonald's, she went and she armed herself with a knife and
Wow.
ran past her little sister that she saw was unalived in the hallway, and then she ran to her mom's work. I don't know if her mom was there or not, because then they said the workers called police, but she ran to the McDonald's that her mom worked at, and
Wow.
they were saying about how it's so sad, but like children, especially older children, can they start adapting throughout the experience of if that's what's going on in their home. They start making like all these survival adapters, and that the fact that they were able to like chew through the restraints or play dead and stuff is like it's above and beyond what a normal 12-year-old would do, but they're
It's above and beyond what most adults would do.
Yes.
To know how to the need to survive and to be so
The means to do it.
yeah. Wow.
Do you want to go over the charges, T?
Sure.
Okay. So basically, I was trying to get the very few documents that they did have. They would be completely. So I'm just going to kind of read off from the notes that I've taken, and maybe Teresa can help.
So do you guys talk about I heard Christine was talking about the other case. You guys also talk about the case where the family was camping, Jen?
No, I haven't. I was waiting for everybody to finish.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
I didn't want to interrupt. I didn't want to interrupt. I don't want to
I
be
just want to
rude.
know where we were at. I'm so sorry. Okay, go ahead. I'm like, I just got lost in my own life. Okay.
You want to do Jen's story first, and then we'll go over the charges?
No, finish. No, finish your story, babe.
Alrighty, where are we at?
Because then it'll be confusing if I start
Yeah,
talking
we're
about,
confused.
Yeah.
Because there's like 3 cases like this all happening basically right around the same time frame.
Yes.
Somebody did ask where was the case of the 12-year-old girl? Where's the case, Michelle, that you're talking about? Where
They're
was that
both
case?
12.
This one's from Alabama.
And this one that she ran to McDonald is in Seminole County, Florida.
Oh my gosh,
Okay.
that's right by me.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, seriously?
He
Yeah.
slashed his 12-year-old daughter's throat. Oh, he's alive. He's alive.
He is
Thought he
alive.
killed
You know what, Christine? I just I know the case you're talking about.
No, he's alive. He cut his own wrists, but she ran and they got there. He's alive. He's in critical condition in the hospital still.
Wow.
But the 3-year-old did pass away.
Oh.
It's ridiculous.
And he lived, right?
Hi, Cool Gamer. Hi, Queen. Hi, Vincent's missing here. I don't know if I missed anybody else in it. Hi, Elizabeth. Okay.
We'll give you guys the iPhone link. Give me 1 second. Hey,
Hi,
Dina.
Dina.
Yeah, Missy, I'm on my laptop. I just grabbed it online. Sorry.
Oh, Johnny Kramer, this case reminds you of the Turpin case? That one's actually pretty close to me. That's just weird. That's weird.
That case is a
very
weird case.
Mhm.
That was, as it all unraveled, was just, and everybody was, what
The
in the
girl.
world?
I like subscribed or whatever to the girl's TikTok last night.
Uh-huh.
Jordan, she's so cute. I mean,
Beautiful.
Was she one of the ones that ended up in the foster system that like did the interviews and stuff about the foster parents being abusive?
I think she was. She's one of the older ones, but I think that she did experience that next level situation, but now she's like a TikTok star. Like,
Wow.
she's
What
making
a different
money.
life.
Those TikTokers make a ton of money.
Really?
Yeah.
They
They do.
They do. Yeah.
Like as an influencer or like what
No,
do you mean?
there's all kinds of niches on TikTok. There's true crime on TikTok. There's all kinds of stuff on TikTok.
True crime on TikTok. It's short, sweet, to the point. I love it.
It is.
I don't know
It
how they do
is.
that's where I first saw Alex was on TikTok. They do all that weird stuff. They like have all this stuff behind them and they're like pointing to it and it's like, and then I don't know how I like.
Yeah, I don't know how.
You mean like a green screen? They have a green screen behind them?
Yes.
Facebook is for old people now. Like, they don't even, my daughter doesn't even use Facebook. I just have to message her there. Like,
My daughters both said, "Mom, get on the TikToks." They didn't say it like that. They said, "Mom, get on TikTok." But I don't know how to say anything right. So, "Mom, get on the tickety talks."
But you can't like message people on there, can you?
Yeah, you
I
can
sound so
DM.
old right now. This is so bad.
Yeah,
I know.
you can DM on the TikToks.
do
You
do guys
can?
know- I
Yeah.
had a TikTok just so I could spy on my daughter specifically. But then my son, actually, coincidentally, my son has been kicked off of TikTok like 2 or 3 times for violating community guidelines.
Seriously?
Oh boy.
Hi, Carrie. Hi, MJ.
So, anyways, he likes to play videos and stuff. Like, they have like the games that you can do with videos, whatever. We made it all private, so he can't get kicked off no more. But anyway, so I was there to spy on my daughter, and my profile name was Undercover Mother. Yeah, and I come to find out, I work with the client. She has like a big clothing line, big clothing store, and I mean, she has like a lot of followers on social media. And come to find out, she's been tagging me professionally on
As undercover mother.
I was like, oh my god.
And then you were
Oh
caught
my
by your daughter too.
I have a big following over there, guys.
I got a TikTok because my daughter wanted a TikTok, but we made hers all private, just like that. And then I think that I actually signed up for like an actual account for TikTok when I started watching like Candace. No, it was before that.
You did you had Naomi, because me and you were talking about Naomi.
Yeah, it was probably right. It was probably before that, but it was basically to spy on my daughter, whose account was private anyway, and nobody could see it. But it didn't matter. I needed to know what was going on because she liked all the TikTok dances and stuff. But I think I actually kind of spread my wings later. But I don't open the app to TikTok and watch TikTok. If somebody sends me one, I end up in at least an hour rabbit hole of dog scared me. Of just videos. Just
Yeah,
random
you have-
videos. Just
Yeah,
swipe
you
in,
have to
going,
just
"Oh,
open the app
moving
and
around
just
doing stuff in here."
yeah, you have to just open the app and just enjoy.
Yeah.
That's what you do. Like when I'm stuck on something or I need a break, I just get on the tickety talks and 12 hours later, I'm feeling fine.
Literally. And I'm like, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm
Videos.
watching TikToks." They're like, "What are you doing that for?" I'm like, "Somebody sent me one, and now I'm here, stuck." It's like you can't leave. You're just there. Hi, Tia. Allie's like, "I could teach you the green screen. Like, it's really not that complicated."
It's not. I tried to get my husband because he really can dance. And I was like, babe, when we were all on lockdown, I was like, babe, let's do these tickety talk dances. And he was like, babe, no. And I was like, babe, but you can do all the tickety talk dances.
No,
And he's like,
you know
babe,
what you would do?
but
You
no.
would be the one who like does the reenactments of like the really cool dances, and then you would go on and do them and be like all funny about it, like all like.
Correct.
That
I
would be
actually
your-
I can dance, but I'm like socially awkward. So I probably like I can do. Yeah, I know, right? I can do all the things, but my face is always I'm always making a weird mug. I can't ever like I can't coordinate
We made it
everything.
like a family affair in this thing. Like we're all in there just Jada teaches us all and then we're all right behind her.
Yeah, my daughter would not want me on any of that. Hi, LFT.
Oh, I'm sure my kids don't want me on any of it either, but they don't get a vote.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Mine
Okay, I don't even know how we got
goes
there, but this is why I can't do a TikTok, because there's no way I could keep my crap under like a minute or whatever the heck the time limit
Yeah,
is.
you can. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can, because it's like you're just doing a video. You're not live. I mean, you can be live on TikTok too, but if
Yeah,
you
I
can
watch
make a
Naomi's
video,
sister on TikTok all the time.
yeah.
Just let the kids lead the way. That's all. Let them
Okay.
lead.
I
all right,
like the
we'll get back
animal
on track.
TikToks. Yeah, okay, no more TikToks. See how it sucks you in? We're not
Yes.
even watching it, and we're
Nope.
fucking sidetracked.
Yep. I don't know. It's a trap. There's something about it.
It's definitely a trap.
Queen bee.
We'll
Okay.
not be getting any promotions from TikTok from now.
All right, Michelle. Let's go back to talking. Let's go back to Jose.
Let's go
Okay.
back. Well, sorry guys. We'll go over the press conference a little bit too. Okay. So the sheriff basically went over with the DA how they had processed the residents overnight, discovered the 2 dead bodies that the 12-year-old led them to. Those 2 bodies, and now along with, they believe they have found another, but they are all unidentified as of yesterday's press conference and then the article I just checked.
Wait, so there's a third body?
They think they found a 3rd body because basically the 2 other bodies, he had cut at the joints into very small pieces and they were hidden
This is not being monetized.
all over the place. So that's why there's a lot of identification issues apparently. And
Oh my God, are you serious?
yeah. So
Okay, so there's like multiple children that are in this household.
yes.
Where are all these other kids? Where were they?
Well, that's the other thing. They don't. Well, they're not identifying who belongs to who yet. I personally feel it's her other children that were in the home, and possibly you have. I do believe there's another body or 2 in there that is going to be found, as if they're finding something now. And I do believe that there might have been another child of hers, or possibly a niece or a nephew of some sort that was also in the home but alive, maybe sleeping or something. I'm not sure, but they're saying that there was alive people that need to be identified or that are pending identification, and then 2 bodies.
Where did that? We had a trigger warning up here. Let me go back and get it. Hold on, I'll find one. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So there's like multiple children like in the family pictures and stuff like that, and then he killed the 14-year-old boy, the mom. The 12-year-old girl was the one that escaped. I know I have one. Where is it?
The sheriff was very, very iffy to give out any details because, especially because of the 12-year-old's age and everything that she had went through. And again, there's just a lot of identification issues, and I think there's a lot of dismemberment going on in that home, and they're just collecting and doing what they do. So the sheriff said he stands firmly behind the arrest affidavit. The DA comes on and he talks about multiple counts of murder in the first degree, kidnapping in the first degree, abuse of a corpse. He strongly feels that just based off of the initial interviews, and he did say interviews, so not just based off of the 12-year-old. That's why I do feel like they have spoken to other children in the home that are alive.
What about him?
Did you say there's a lot of dismemberment in the home?
Yeah.
At first, I thought you used that term incorrectly. Maybe that's what I was hoping for. But then when I asked the question and I heard your voice and I saw your face, no, you said you meant what? Okay, I got it now. Wow.
Well, this guy's
Okay.
like living there and just like leaving and going to work
Like
and coming
Tote.
back like it's an everyday thing.
Yes.
Like this is totally
Except for
normal.
Anthony
Like,
Tote didn't even leave.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
that guy just lived in it.
Ugh,
Oh my
nasty.
gosh.
Ugh.
I twisted
What is
Gemini,
wrong with
I
these
think
people?
No Watts discussion. No, there's no Watts.
No, we don't even say that name.
Too late. I already did it. Now I screwed the whole thing up.
Schwatz
This is
schmutz.
unbelievable to me. I don't even know if I can comprehend that this guy's just like walking in and out of his house.
Like just living his life. Like nothing's going on.
She's going to work every day. And when
Oh, he's going to be one of those that gets studied.
when the
Oh, yeah.
reporter asked about relationships and who's connected to who, the sheriff attempted to almost answer, and the DA was right behind him with that hard no. They are not releasing much of anything. They're not clarifying too much, and that's kind of what's throwing me off too. Is why they just won't say the nature of the relationship, even with the 12-year-old with Jose.
Because
I
it
think
looks like it might be the stepdad.
I think there might be something bigger going on, and that's why they're not saying. Because normally in a situation like that, they would at least, at the very least, be able to say the relationships. Like, look at the Tote family, right? They released names. They released more than just familial relationships, but something else must have been going on, a bigger picture that might involve different agencies, as it were, and maybe that's why.
There's definitely multiple agencies on it, and it was the DA's face for me. It was like he could have jumped on that podium himself just to make sure that was not answered at all.
Yeah.
Okay. But they just clarified that the mom and Jose were once a couple. And
Interesting. Wow.
But they did not say whether the boy was his kid or the girl was his kid.
No. Nope, they're not specifying any relationships to who and to what. She was never considered a missing persons. That was like a big thing, I guess, that people were asking.
Where in
How
Alabama
long
was this, Michelle?
It's hard for me to pronounce.
Spell it.
Tallapoosa County.
Tallapoosa.
Tallapoosa. There you go.
Dina, from my understanding, she was tied up for approximately a week
Oh my gosh.
before she gnawed her own restraints off and took
She
off.
had braces on, and she broke the break of her braces.
The bracket. Oh my gosh.
And think, if you're, she's 12, she's fueled in alcohol and God knows what else he had given her. How did she do that? Like,
Yeah, see, because that's the thing with braces. They tell you, because I wore braces, I remember, and you can't. You're not allowed to like bite into things. So if you want an apple, you have to cut the apple up.
Yeah.
they say,
And so for her to do that, that's why bless her heart. That's why her brackets broke.
Oh
Bless her heart.
gosh.
And
Yeah.
those things are like cemented on.
that's what
Oh
they
yeah,
said.
I heard that.
It's two pieces that go up in this way. So as she was falling through, the I guess the brackets were going up into her
Yeah.
mouth.
Bless her heart.
She's a fighter.
No kidding, man. She's a little survivor.
Yeah, she is. Little Wonder Woman.
Yeah, she is.
Bless her heart.
Everything else. So the the U.S. Marshals caught up with Jose at his construction site. Judge denied bail, of course. I did see in the comments before they were releasing some of the little details of some bodies being dismembered. They had put out there how he had smothered the mother with the pillow, and that, again, huge trigger warning. The 14-year-old boy was basically beaten to death. Jose used, and it's described just in this way from the little bit of the affidavit I could see, that he was beaten with hands and feet, and that was it. I did see one article that mentioned that he was bludgeoned, but I have not seen that anywhere else. So
10-9 wants to know, do we know if they were cloth or metal restraints? Like, what kind of restraints were they? Do we know?
I don't know.
Probably not metal.
They left deep cuts on her wrists and her ankles.
I'm thinking like zip tie.
That's what I'm thinking
That
is
was
zip
my
tie.
thought, was zip
There's
tie.
a channel on YouTube. The woman teaches women how to get out of if you're duct taped or tied or something, or like a belt. And she teaches all these different techniques to get out of restraints on YouTube. And they're short videos. They're totally manageable, but using you can take off a belt and use it to break a zip tie, or
Yes, they teach
I see
kids
the
that.
zip ties with the shoelaces. That's the one I've
Yeah.
seen.
Kids they teach kids how to get zip ties off with their shoelaces. I've seen those videos too. Yeah.
Oh, we should link that later. Make sure.
Bless her little heart, little fighter. Good for her.
yeah.
Good for her. Survived to tell and point and say what happened and who did it. Good for her.
Look behind Michelle.
I read a New York Times article that it said that the ADA Kevin Hall said on Wednesday that he couldn't give much, but he gave one line, and I thought it was very interesting. And he just said it was not a random abduction. Clearly, we know that it was her ex, but I wonder what he meant by abduction.
See, this is see, the thing is, if they weren't together, right? Currently, he was not living with her. They weren't in a relationship, and he broke into the home, right, or forced his way into the home. But he used restraint, so technically that would be an abduction.
And then that
under
would
the
make
law.
And wouldn't they specify at that point, though, if that would have been her actual father? Are you thinking more that would be her stepfather then, because of the way they worded that? Like if that was her father, don't you think they would have worded it maybe a little differently?
Probably.
Yeah, okay.
Probably.
Because we can't figure that out. We don't know who.
Yeah, I think it might be just. Yeah, I think if it were her biological father, I think they would name him as her, or maybe not because of the sensitivity of some of the other details. I don't know.
We don't know if there was other siblings in the home, and maybe those siblings belonged to him.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what I was thinking.
Alabama does things different.
Yeah, it was hard to get anything, to be honest. Very hard.
Yeah, they're real. They're. I mean, is the ABI involved too?
FBI, Department of Homeland Security, and
Shit.
local agencies.
Okay, so probably ABI.
He was born in Mexico. He does have a social security number here. I know that was a big part of everyone's questions. So the sheriff touched on that. He did ask for an interpreter. He did receive one at his hearing, and he will have one going forward. The deposition states that at 12:22 a.m. on Monday is when they believe that the murders had happened.
Last Monday?
Yes. Well, right, Monday that just passed.
Okay, so she wouldn't have been in there for a full week then.
See, and then you get some articles that say a week and 1 day. So I don't know.
Okay, so it could have been the previous Monday. Okay.
Well, we don't just because the unaliving occurred on a Monday doesn't mean that she wasn't kept longer. You know what I mean?
That's true.
They just
Good
know
point.
when the unaliving happened.
Let's see.
Alex, yes. So on the right side of the thumbnail is Jose. He's up in the top right, and then the mom and the girl and the boy. I still left their faces blurred. Only because I mean nobody
Yeah.
said her name, so I don't know if I want to like put that out like that. I mean, she's 12 and she did survive. The little boy is kind of in question because it's been speculated that the boy in that picture is the little boy that was killed. But I don't. It doesn't fit age wise, so I don't know. So I
Right,
just left
because
it covered.
they're talking about a 14-year-old.
Doesn't
Right.
look-
So the pictures are a little older, but the
I'll have
boy
to
is
look.
littler than the girl. Here, I can send it to you too.
Why can't I have to do it on the laptop because
No, I'm just.
I'm on the
I can
phone.
send it to you.
Yeah, but if you send it to me, I can't get away from StreamYard.
Oh, I
It'll
got
make
you.
me
I
leave.
got you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got
So you don't have to send it. I'll just look on my laptop. I'm right here. I'm sitting.
Okay.
So I'm looking up that other case too.
Okay,
But
so yes, the boy on there is it to me looks younger than the girl, and the girl is the one that was able to get away. So I don't know. I'm not 100% who the boy is, right?
maybe they misidentified the boy's age.
Or there's just more children, is what I was kind of
Or
trying to
that
figure out.
too.
Is there like did these guys have kids together? It's kind of all unknown. Hi ATS.
Karen, I saw you earlier.
So okay, so yes, it's just it's a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah. Wow.
It's kind of let's see.
But it's something I don't know. It just as soon as I read her story, it's like you get the ones that just like stick to you for a second, and you're just like, well, I got to figure out what happened here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
but then there's
pretty much-
another one from today, and then there's also this camping one.
Yeah, I'm looking that one up right now.
This was last week. Is it only a week ago, or was it 2 weeks ago now? Where the family was camping. It's the mom, dad, little girl, brother, sister, and the little boy's the only one who's left untouched. And
Completely.
somebody just randomly, yeah.
I don't know what my computer is doing. So I have to go on to a different story until I can figure out what my laptop is doing.
Girls get that growth spurt before boys. True, but if
True.
If she's supposedly 12 now and he's 14, and that picture's even 2 years ago, we'll say, so she would have been 10 and he would have been. There's still such a size difference, Alex. I'll send it to you.
I just think there was quite a few children.
I will say though, it's not uncommon for were the children Mexican? Because if they were, then it's not that uncommon for a Mexican boy not to be all that tall.
Jen, if you see the pictures, maybe you can help me. I was trying to align some of the last names.
Okay.
You'll be able to see where it's from. I don't want to say it public yet, but you'll see where the pictures are from.
Oh, okay.
If you
The
kind of
one
follow
in
that, you'll see how it's posted and how many children there really is. Should I say?
Okay.
Maybe you'll have.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids in these pictures, so it's hard to tell which ones are because there's also another little girl, but nobody's talked about there being another little girl.
I feel like if
So
Jen looks at the face for a while and matches up those last names, she might be able to complete that family.
I might be able to. Yes.
The case, the one in Florida with the 12-year-old, the dad's name is Juan in that one.
Juan.
It's wrong.
Juan.
No, Juan.
Juan.
Yeah, Juan.
Really?
Yeah, and so the one that in Alabama, the person unknown relation is, what is it?
Jose.
Jose.
This is too similar.
Jose and
It's
Juan.
very similar. Same, and the girls are the same age.
How crazy is that, too?
Well, I'm looking at the pictures that you sent me, Teresa, and I will say this. The little boy in the second picture does not look older at all
Than the girl, right?
than the girl. No. So what what I'm thinking is that the 14-year-old is not pictured in these pictures. And I'm not even so sure that The little boy in the first picture that you sent me is the same little boy as in the second picture.
Okay.
I have to put them up side by side.
Okay. So it's the last one. It's the girl on the right.
Yes. Huh.
That's why I'm like, I don't know.
This is a different little boy. This little boy in this suit is a different little boy
Than the one in the middle picture.
than the one in the middle picture.
Jen, though, if you get a chance, follow the name that the Facebook belongs to.
I didn't send her that. I'll send it to her though, so she can look into it too. Okay.
Okay. I'll do all that.
You'll see the
I'll do,
tone.
I'll do
Gotcha.
all that. Jen Blue, do all the things.
All the things.
You'll see.
Here, let me get that. I'll
All
grab that
right.
and send it to you. Otherwise, I'll forget.
It's
Okay.
almost the tone of how she does it, and that's why I feel like they're all related. Maybe, you know.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. So I'm pulling up this next one of the family. Just waiting. Internet be slow. All right. Let's see. Maquota? Moquoketa?
Is this the camping family?
Yes. A 9-year-old boy who was camping at an Iowa state park with his parents and 6-year-old sister survived a shooting that killed the rest of the family. The Iowa Department of Public Safety identified the victims as Tyler Schmidt, 42, his 42-year-old wife, Sarah, and their 6-year-old daughter, Lula, all of Cedar Falls, Iowa. Their bodies were found in their tent early Friday at Moquoketa Cave State Park ground, about 180 miles east of Des Moines. This was published on July 26th. This is an older article.
Okay.
Authorities said the suspected gunman, 23-year-old Anthony Sherwin, was found dead Friday in a wooded area of the park with a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
So that's the guy that did it?
That's what they're saying. They had Adam Morehouse, Sarah Schmidt's brother, said the family had no connection to Sherwin, and he believed it was a quote completely random act.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah, this is the same family. Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, because this is the picture that was on the Twitters.
On the Twitters.
Oh,
Okay, so some random crazy guy just strolls up and
just
decides to shoot the family, and
right.
I wonder, like, where they were in the tent. I wonder if
Where were the other?
no, it was a stranger. Killed the mom, dad, and the daughter,
Yeah.
and not the little boy.
Right.
Any other campsites around? Were there any other campers outside of
I'm just
this?
like, did he shoot through the tent and like not know who he hit? Like, I'm trying to figure. You know what I mean? Like, how does this little boy just like? Why would he leave the little boy on purpose?
I'm reading. Hold on. Let me keep a reading. All right. Let's see.
Curious Cat says the guy was there camping with his family as well.
Let's see.
Was there, like,
We
a
don't know
specific-
what led up, what precipitated it. He said, adding that so far the investigation has not revealed any interaction between the Schmidt family and him.
Oh, he stabbed them as well?
Was
I'm
there, like,
reading.
a disagreement or something? Like,
I don't know. Let me find a better article because this one's older.
Do we know if the 9-year-old had any like special relation to the guy who unalived everyone?
Okay, this one is 1 day ago.
But someone mind grabbing Jen Lou's link real quick? Elizabeth, so Christine and Michelle and I, we hang out here on this panel, and Jen Lou has the ward case studies, so we'll get her link for you. It's just like home, though.
Pretty much. I live both places.
nah,
Like a child of
that's going on
divorce.
all over.
Like a child of divorce.
I've been everywhere, man.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, yeah, like, Did he just didn't want to go out alone? Like, you know.
Okay, so Tyler Schmidt, 42, died of a gunshot wound and multiple stabbing injuries. Sarah stabbed multiple times, and Lula died from a gunshot wound and strangulation. Wow.
And the little boy.
They were found in their tent, but it doesn't
anything about the little
say.
boy being awake or seeing anything?
No.
Or...
Let's see. Okay,
They
the
haven't
Schmidt's
said where the
9-year-old
little boy
son,
was.
Arlo, survived the attack. Law enforcement authorities have not said where he was when his family members were unalived. A GoFundMe to support him has raised more than $270,000.
Holy crap. Hi, Parker.
The autopsies were conducted July 24th and 25th, said Mitch Mordavet, Assistant Director of Iowa Department of Criminal Investigation. The department was awaiting on results from additional testing before releasing the results. Said he declined to describe the weapons used in the stabbing or the strangulation. Investigators are aware of a possible motive, but will not release it publicly. Mordavet said, the investigation into the events surrounding the homicides is ongoing, the news release from Iowa Department of Public Safety said.
Okay, well, that's weird. Like, if the guy killed himself, why would they not release what the cause of him being
right
was? It's not like they are going to trial.
They went to Anthony Sherwin's apartment in Nebraska, and after hearing of the news, but found no other victims or any SH note suggesting what or why. And Anthony Sherwin allegedly unalived the Schmidts and himself.
Wow. All right.
Investigative sources have told the Des Moines Register that Sherwin allegedly used a ghost gun in the shootings and on himself. Ghost guns are untraceable homemade guns. Huh.
Hello, Dougie Spaz, who is Amelia Sparkle's other half. We adore your other half.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Sorry, I got the sheriff helicopter flying over. You know, typical Friday.
Well, right. I mean, that's how it is in Florida.
It's like we're right on their route. It's like they're actually a little late tonight.
I feel like they just messing with me. Today, I had an occasion to sit outside. It was nice. There was a slight breeze, so it's keeping the mosquitoes away. And the person behind me decides, hey, guess what I'm going to do today? I'm going to power wash my freaking house. Rude. So I had to go in.
Like, you ruined my nice, peaceful day.
Right? Like, come on, man.
So, ATS, it does. It sounds premeditated. Like, he has a ghost gun. He brings it to this campsite. Like, I'm wondering...
Okay, brace yourself. Brace yourself.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
What the presumed killer's parents say about their son. Despite police reports, the presumed shooter's parents said they believe their son is innocent and, quote, a victim of homicide, end quote, too. Quote, we're devastated by all of this and still believe our son was murdered, Cecilia Sherwin wrote in an email to the Register. Quote, he had too much to live for to throw it all away like this, end quote. She said that after the family was infected with COVID-19 in April, quote, we began having health issues. We also had neurological problems we were hoping and praying would work themselves out, end quote. She did not share more about those issues. Cecilia Sherwin said her son was working on a computerized system that would support a business which she said was, quote, worth millions. He planned to use the business to support his parents and help them. And Sherwin himself retire early, she said. She did not elaborate on the type of business Sherwin was working on, but said in emails that he needed, quote, tight security because of it. I can honestly say he was the best son a parent could wish for, his mother wrote Thursday. That's it. Wow.
That's good. Too much to live for, but has the time and energy to get a ghost gun. Unless it's not.
He made it. He said, this is what the mom said about the parents said about the gun. They said that He didn't actually have an interest in firearms. He wasn't obsessed with guns, but he had seen this thing called a ghost gun, right? And it was about the challenge of seeing if he could actually build it. That's all it was about. That's what she says.
So why did he bring it with? Just for protection?
I don't know. I don't sabe. Nobody knows.
Well, I mean, camping, maybe, right?
But I don't think it doesn't say anything about him actually being camping too.
Curious Cat in the chat said that he was there camping with his family. I'm wondering if this is mom and dad.
Yeah, it must be mom and dad. Let me keep looking.
Okay. Or Curious Cat, if you're still in here, maybe you can tell us what family he was there with, because that's all. It's just doesn't make any sense. It never does, but.
I hear you, Vincent.
Okay, here we go. Sherwin's parents told the Register that their son built his own weapon. His mother, Cecilia, said the family didn't want him to purchase a gun, but thought building one made sense given an increase in crime around where they lived in Nebraska. Quote, he only had an interest in guns for a few months before he grew tired of it. By the time we took our trip, he told us he was going to get rid of it. We were relieved as we never owned a gun of any kind before this year. We only had one in the car on the trip. He didn't have a fascination as much as it was a challenge to build it, she said in an email. Quote, he did not want to bring the gun on the trip, but we thought it would be okay considering crime and bears. She wrote, adding a bear did invade their camp on at least one night of the trip.
But he didn't shoot the bear.
No, because it was in the car.
Okay. Yeah, there's something wrong here. This is not
something. You know what this sounds like to me? This sounds like there's an episode of Criminal Minds where this like homeless guy, he was a vet and he was living in the caves, like in this huge like national park, and he would come to campsites every, like, I don't know, 10 years or something like that. Remember that episode? And take one of the boys, but the last one, the one that got him caught, he ended up taking the sister and the brother. That's what this reminds me of. That's what this reminds me of. Not because just like
Criminal Minds is coming back. FYI.
Is it? Yeah. I feel like that maybe the son.
Vincent.
The son was the target. Otherwise, why else leave him alive?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And perhaps, at the last minute, this person, after what he had done and what he was probably about to do, changed his mind, and that's why he unalived himself. Perhaps he had guilt.
Yeah.
Perhaps he wasn't a total socio or psychopath.
Was there like a tiff? Did they get into like an argument? This guy pissed, this family pissed this guy off. Dad did, mom did, somebody did.
But don't you think if that had happened, babe, that the parents would have said something because they were there together?
I like Jen's theory on this one.
There's something definitely weird about it. I don't know.
It's weird that what's weird is that the son was not harmed at all.
What if he
That's what's weird.
He wasn't there and he
where would he be though, sweet pea? Where would he be?
He went to go to the bathroom.
He's in the little tent.
I mean,
I literally thought that too. Like, was he going to the bathroom?
And he just comes back and there's just pure chaos everywhere.
I mean, it's possible, yeah.
I don't know, Jen. That all ties together for me. It would make a ton of sense, and then it would make even more sense of the whole unalive thing at the end.
Yeah. Perhaps he was about to start something that, perhaps after he unalived the family, he realized he had gone too far.
Yeah. Do you know the nature of the relationships of in the family? Like, was he super close to him, or was he super close to any of the or were there any issues like that? Do you know?
In the articles that I've read, it doesn't say anything. Because the mom is thinking that what I would assume, though, is it sounds like they were close if they all took a camping trip together.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so Jeanette has an off-topic question. Do you ladies believe the killer was really found in Kylan and Crystal's murder? Sorry to change the subject, but camping reminds me of it. I do believe that he was. only because they did have the DNA, and that was the one thing that everybody argued about during the Gabby and Brian whole situation was about this DNA. So
Uh-huh.
I do think he was found because I think they could have matched up the DNA pretty easily once they found the dude's remains. So that's my
Agreed.
answer to that. I don't know if anybody else has a different one.
No, I agree.
I agree.
And that was pretty big for them to let go if the family was like, yeah, no, we don't believe what you're saying. So
Hi, Delana. Hi, babe.
Dougie, he said, hold on, I missed it. Hold on. Because I'm here so I can anticipate her next move. I mean, she did just up our life insurance.
Well, now that's on the record, Dougie.
You know the signs. You know the signs.
She does hang out quite frequently in my chat, and I do quite frequently point out where people make mistakes.
Yeah, this is true.
She's been trying. She's been studying trials too, so
Yeah,
she really knows what to do.
I didn't get a chance to say hi, sweet tea, hi, Amber Lou. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's something else to this whole thing. I'm wondering where the little boy was.
This is what I'm thinking. At some,
my mind with that one.
Well, they know some things, right? But they're not releasing them. There's some details they're not releasing.
And if this was a simple unalive and unalive yourself, I don't know why this would be so top secret.
That's because I think something else was going on, and that's why the boy. I think that the son was the target. I don't think that he was somewhere else, babe.
Makes sense.
That's why I think that. And otherwise, it would be very cut and dry. But they're still investigating it, and there's details. What I suspect is they're waiting on a few more lab results, probably, just toxicology and stuff like that, right? That's normal. That's pretty standard protocol. But what I also suspect they're waiting on is whatever they took out of that apartment in Nebraska, i.e. computers, laptops, any kind of electronics, cell phones. I think he did, yes.
That's a good thought, and then he changed his mind. You got me thinking.
Well, I think he changed his mind because his parents were there.
Well, what was he going to do with them? Like you would think,
right? Like, how do you explain all of a sudden a child?
Right.
I mean,
but you would have had to have thought that through, no?
I'm not sure that he was intent on taking him. I think he was intent on doing something else.
And he's clearly not in his normal thinking mind.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh,
correct.
Makes even more sense with his parents being there, because it's like, whatever he initially started to do, and whenever the oh shit moment kicked in, like maybe shouldn't have done this.
The fact that he shot and stabbed the parents, and shot the father and stabbed the father, stabbed the mother, and shot and strangled the daughter, tells me that the son was in the tent, that he was the target. And I think probably what most likely happened is an attempt to lure the son away went sideways.
I see I see that. I can see that.
Because why the need to shoot and stab? Why the need to shoot and strangle?
Yeah, there's a lot of different, which is what I don't understand, is that's really uncommon for one person to feel the need to do so many things.
Correct.
Except for Letitia Stout, who also felt the need to do so many things. She's
another one of those special cases that need to be studied.
Yeah, for sure. I was talking about other special cases. A case that's always been close to us is Summer Wells.
Yes.
Most of you guys probably have heard that there was an announcement this week that Mr. Don Wells is going to be released on October 30th. So
just in time for Halloween and all the trick-or-treaters. Wonderful.
I can't imagine the shit show that's going to be.
I
but
can't.
They have made it so that he does not have to. He does not have to complete the rehabilitation that was part of his sentencing.
What?
I don't know what what happened, that the judge decided that he doesn't have to do that now.
Maybe
Unless
maybe he felt like he got enough rehab sitting in the clink. Free rehab.
yeah, but why sentence him to that if you knew he was going to end up sitting there
What the
anyway?
hell? Who has a fighter pilot jet going by?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. That is weird that he took it off. I don't know. I don't know. You think he would want? Well, no, maybe because I was thinking. Well, maybe he thought he. I would keep it because then he would have to talk to a therapist, and who knows? But then that would be privilege. So never mind. I got excited for no reason. Do what?
But unless you're the Menendez brothers.
Right. I'm.
Then it's not privileged anymore.
Well, especially if you're the Menendez brothers, you go to a psychiatrist and the secretary is salty because the psychiatrist broke up with her.
Yeah. Yeah, so she gonna mess everything you guys got going on.
Yeah, she did.
All right, those jokes are flying over my head like that airplane. Nah.
Oh, jeez. Okay,
Hey
so
guys, did you know that Scott Peterson might be innocent?
okay. So hold on, I gotta turn my camera back on for this one. So she messages me, and it's getting dark, so I'll end up turning it back on. But she messages me the other night, and she's like, "So, Scott Peterson, you might be innocent," and I'm like, "No."
I don't get messages like that, Christine. What the hell?
I was like bringing
I'm
my
like,
thoughts
all
to
right,
you.
you're
Now
welcome
that I
on the
know.
Scott Peterson panel now because like she was exiled from that live. She wasn't even gonna be allowed in chat. We were gonna have to block her and then probably any alt that she did make to try to come in because she was anti Scott Peterson even remotely being innocent. And not that, and here's the thing, it's not that I think that he was innocent. I do.
But you guys, there's so much stuff that the jury didn't see.
There's so much stuff that the jury didn't see. There's so much
Teresa
stuff
is
that the jury didn't
100% correct.
He did not receive a fair trial.
He did not.
I
And
know
here's
that,
the
like,
thing.
sucks for her family. I totally respect that.
Mhm.
I get that, and I'm so not saying that to piss anybody off. But he did not receive a fair trial. And
Correct.
then you have the fun little juror who's just kind of a pain in the ass, and
That's why he didn't receive a fair trial.
Right. So it was such a mess.
Mhm.
So I'm like, we're going to be talking about Scott Peterson because some of those answers about whether he's going to be getting a trial or not is going to be coming soon, and that's a case that's close to me. So I'm like, okay, Christine. She's like, yeah, I saw something, and I think he might be innocent.
Here's the deal, though. The thing is that we have our justice system in the United States. It's not a perfect system, but it's our system. Okay, when you decide that you're going to show up for jury duty, right, and you answer their questions, you do the things that you're supposed to take that job very, very seriously. Somebody's life is in your hands, period. And you have a right to a fair and impartial jury. And that didn't happen. And just for that alone, he should receive a new trial.
Michelle's so excited that she's crying. So she's like, I'm just thinking, like, oh my God, where's my tissues? I don't know where CDT and ATS and Steph and all the Scott Peterson ones, but they need to hear that Christine said this.
They missed it. I'm not saying it.
Well, thank goodness it's on YouTube forever.
No, I'm real excited about it. Bring them on. Come on.
Yeah, bring it on. She's like, all right, I'm gonna meet you there. Let's go watch it.
Ready?
Clip it.
Okay, Delana
Clip
says,
Christine.
I still think he's guilty, new trial or not. So let him have his new trial and the right to go back and go right back to prison. And that's totally fair. And if
Exactly.
that's what ends up being, I totally agree with you. Totally
Correct.
agree
That's
with
how I feel. Let him have a fair trial, and whatever happens, happens.
Right.
Mhm.
Exactly.
But let him have a fair trial. We're afforded that right in the United States.
I think that there's a lot of stuff, like Christine was saying, that the jury did not get to see that I think
Mm-hmm.
is a little biased and is left out of the mainstream narrative of things. And all of us that are now, so deep in true crime, not on mainstream media, we know how much they purposely change, leave out, don't tell us, so that we believe whatever,
The official narrative is.
Right.
Yeah.
We know it's not always the case. Is it the case here? Maybe.
Right.
But once again, like I said, I do not believe the man received a fair trial. I think that I would like all the evidence to be put forward and somebody to say, yeah, this is exactly, what he did. And this is the proof that he did it without a doubt.
Yes, and I would. The other night I did a live, and I had a really fascinating author and journalist. He covers tons of true crime cases, but I had him there to talk about the West Embassy because he
I
wrote a
popped in
book.
to listen, but I don't know that case, so I was kind of like, I can't even. You see,
Yeah, it was a
here's
lot.
Look at that. Somebody, she knew. She heard it. She heard it.
Oh, wow. Oh, yay.
I shouted it out to the world, and there she is.
And he suggested that what we need in the United States are professional jurors, people who know how to be a juror.
Yeah.
I want to be a professional. Listen, if one of you guys were on a trial, would you want me on your jury?
Hell no, because you're not letting
That's what I
anything get
did.
by.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
listen.
Am I guilty?
Well,
If I'm guilty, I do not want you as my juror.
Yeah. Wait,
No.
so you're guilty already?
I don't
they're
know.
already
I can't-
admitting
this is
guilt,
double
and
edged
why the
sword.
hell am I on your jury?
Admitting guilt to this
If I'm
hypothetical
innocent,
crime
hell yeah, I
jury
want you on my jury. If I'm guilty, no, you're not coming anywhere near my trial. No.
But as
I wanna
an
pick and choose. I'll
innocent
be like, yeah,
person,
that one, she's got to go. You can't do it.
but if you're an innocent
Who knows
person,
too much?
I would, if I were innocent, I would want me on the trial, on a jury, because this is the thing we were talking about, the weight of evidence, right? So as 12 human beings, everybody on that jury sees the exact same evidence, right? But they all don't put the same weight to the individual elements of the evidence. So there are lots of examples in true crime where people talk about a case and we're all seeing the same evidence, right? But Teresa may think that one piece of evidence is more important than me. You see what I'm saying? So that's where sometimes having people who are don't understand what the evidence actually is. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
How can they give it the proper weight? And I think back in the day, before we had all of this technology, having 12 just people in the community, right, being a jury of your peers was perfectly fine. But now it's complicated with DNA and different. I mean, it's not even just DNA anymore. There's levels of DNA. There's different kinds of DNA. There's touch DNA. When the trial today that I was watching, Yaser Said trial, they were talking about, kinship DNA, and I think, I don't know, I just think it's important for people, if you're going to have somebody's life in your hands, I think taking a few classes, I'd do it for sure.
Yeah, I agree, Jim.
Can you imagine if they had such a thing and yours truly was a professional juror? That would be like my dream job, you guys.
And do we ever get to hear about those cases?
After.
Okay.
After, of course, I'd be like,
details.
y'all, let me tell you. And let me tell you how I behaved in that jury room.
A Southern California, regional jury? Do I get to, try out?
That's what I want to know. I don't know how this could be, but I'm all for it.
Yeah, especially with all the new technology. You put it perfectly. I mean, it's just, how would one know over the other? Let's say you have a doctor who just so happens to be on the jury, and then you have
a plumber.
Right. The plumber may understand the draining system a little bit better and how the body was flushed down there, versus the doctor who might get touch DNA and
right.
Yeah, but what if that plumber is not the best plumber? And now you got another plumber who's on the other side who's like, no, that's not how it always works.
Now they're really.
Well, yeah, but think about it like this. Okay, I hate to bring this word up. The Watts, the Cellbrite dumps, right? Not everybody. It took, I'm a smart cookie, but even I didn't understand the Cellbrite dumps immediately. I had to look at it for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So do you want somebody who's willing to look at it for a minute, right? Teresa, you're excellent with spreadsheets and stuff like that. You would be perfect. You don't have to necessarily.
Born after 1990.
You don't want anybody born after 1990?
Yeah, no. Hell no.
then if something happens on the internet, everybody's going to be screwed because nobody's going to know how to deal with it.
I'll
They're gonna
say
be like,
this.
TikTok, what's a TikTok?
My
No,
kids
don't
were
call me
born
fake.
after 1990, and I would want them on a jury. But they're
Who?
my kids. My
Yeah.
kids. They were all born after 1990. But look who raised them.
Eh. I don't know. I don't know if any of my
That's the one
my
up there,
daughters
the
are
other one now.
closest.
Well, I will say this. Look who raised them. That's going to be a 50-50 shot there because you could catch them on a bad day like their mother. And
Thinking, my daughter, you're guilty right off the bat. My son is sweet, gentle, kind, and he will give you a chance. And
Same.
Michelle, I
My
can't
dad
even
loves
take you
me.
seriously half the time you have cat ears. The other time you have a cat tail coming out of your head.
it's Nikki and Anakin Ani's over there too. There's two of them. And
I know. So every once
Aw.
in a while you just have cat ears coming this way, or you have like a tail and it's just like hanging out your head over here.
I love that. Oh, look at Jeff. What? Let me see that outfit.
She
Wow.
broke
Oh,
her
she's
little
not wearing an outfit. I thought she had like little PJs on.
No, she's a brat. This one ain't having it. No way. She don't let me do anything to her. She thinks she's a German Shepherd.
If she were my dog, she'd be dressed. I'd be trying to put outfits on Alice, and she hates me.
Takes them right off. She rips her hair out. I do their hair because I have another one. I have her mom. Rips it right out. I'm like, I'm done with you girls.
I got.
the SP Spidey sense came for real.
We knew you were coming.
What
Stephanie.
happened with the gag order? Damn
Ooh,
it.
Murdoch
Damn it.
the Murdoch gag order got slapped down.
Ooh.
Gosh. Golly.
Delana says, I'm always.
Does that mean that
offended.
people can talk?
They call me and I fill out their little questionnaire. They never end up taking me for jury duty. I truly feel it's because my father is Ellie. Just my opinion. Oh, my
That's
dad's a
probably
retired
why,
cop,
Delana.
and they took me for jury duty. My dad's a
Oh,
retired
yes.
cop.
Steph, so they do have a gag order or do not have a gag order? Please
I'm
clarify.
thinking that's
Yeah,
fake,
because slap down to me means no, but let's see.
that's what I interpret it as too.
Or they might have slapped it out
Chris
of their
says, I
hands.
can't
Like,
get
hell
picked for
no.
a jury to save my life due to law enforcement background. Yeah.
I
Maybe,
the
like,
one time I got a summons, I got out of it because my kiddos were little. But that was,
Yeah.
but now if I got a jury summons, man, there would be nothing stopping me. I would walk if I had to.
I want one. I haven't got one. My son was like,
I know people
2
are
or
always
3.
mad.
The
Go ahead,
last time I
Chrissy.
got one, my son was like 2 or 3. I said I was still breastfeeding. I haven't got one since. Damn it.
They're like,
Well, I just got my driver's license in Florida not that long ago, and I registered to vote, which means I will definitely be getting a jury summons. But I also get anytime there's an election, I get calls, I get texts, I get emails, and I get mail. It's very annoying.
I'm waiting for good
Amelia, don't you guys start fighting. Knock it off, you two. I had a grand jury summons for LA Superior Court when I was 18 and I got out of it. And damn, what was I can't believe that.
Man.
I'd like to
you
be on a
don't know
grand
when you're
jury
that
who would
young.
do that.
No gag order. Yay.
Alex, you guys, seriously. So law enforcement background, they won't take you. Like I said, I was
They're just
on a
excited
jury.
about no gag order.
No gag order. I'm gonna mute for a second.
They're excited about it.
Yeah, they're very excited for no gag order. She's just too big. She slides everywhere and just knocks into everything, and it's just. The other dog is loud,
It's a
but
lot.
she's the one knocking into the table and about to knock my computer over.
Well, Alex, to answer your question, I think it depends on, what kind of trial it is. But I can tell you pretty much off the bat, from a defense perspective, probably not. I wouldn't want you. Especially if I was, especially.
With the prosecution.
Well, it would like, especially if it were a case where I felt like there was police corruption or the police mishandled stuff, right? You would not want somebody in who has a law enforcement background on that jury, because if you're presenting that type of a case, right, the jury, somebody with law enforcement might not be, might be like, psh, that's just what they say. I'm sure everything was fine. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to take the chance. Well, I'm sure that there are people with the law enforcement background that would say it happens, right? they would be like, yeah, there's corruption sometimes, and I's don't get dotted, T's don't get crossed, and evidence gets mishandled, et cetera, right? Protocols aren't followed. But why take the chance?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
The defense feels like you're.
I don't know, because I think that they also want to make sure that they have a little bit from both sides, because if you do have law enforcement in your family, you do know that there's corruption. I mean,
right, but why
that's
would you
not-
want
they're
to
not
take
blind
that
to it.
chance? Yeah, but why would you want to take that chance?
I don't know. They
Wouldn't
took
it?
it on me.
I mean, I think there's just a lot of different
The guy was
demographics.
found
that-
guilty. They probably shouldn't have then.
I think it just depends on the type of case that that they're looking for a jury, and I think it would depend, on the defendant, and there would be a lot of factors. I wouldn't just automatically be like, "Oh, you have a law enforcement background, peace out," But
well, I mean, there's a lot of different things that would like impact different
Mhm.
juries for different cases. Like if you or somebody was ever a victim of a crime or a financial
yeah, strawberry
crime.
shortcake, which would have disqualified you from serving on that jury, but
Mhm.
what ifs? If you'd answer that question honestly.
This is a public matter and a public trial. Oh, and the AG whose office is in charge of prosecuting Murdaugh was in this huge corruption case in 2019 for concealing evidence. Wow, it's getting even crazier.
This Yaser Said case is getting a little like that too.
Oh yeah, we gotta talk about that. Let's
do Summer Wells. Let's finish Summer Wells before I distract people more, like I always do.
I start talking to people in chat, and then I'm like, okay, let's talk about that. Hold on, let me get this one real quick. Delaney wants to know how I filled out mine. I would have said that if they had asked. I don't remember now. It was, shoot, it's gonna be 12. It was at least almost 11 years ago, and I was breastfeeding.
I was not breastfeeding my son, by the way, when he was 3 years old. That was a lie. I was just trying to get out of dirty.
You lied under the penalty of perjury.
Well,
That's not her. Her name is not Christine.
I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations has expired on that. You're fine.
Yeah, probably. Probably like, we don't really care anyway. Watch tomorrow. She gets a jury summons. She's like, yeah, bitch, now try that.
Watch tomorrow. She gets a warrant or an investigation, and they try to call us for witnesses. And I'm over here like, I didn't hear shit. I don't know.
I didn't know anything. And we're all like, okay.
I'm always on
now
my
we're really
toes
going to
for the
court.
FBI to show up.
Listen, you know me. I'm not going to answer nothing without an attorney present. Thank you very much.
And wait till they show up. We have things to talk about.
I don't have nothing to say to you.
All right, let's see. Okay, so hold on. I guess I got to remove that real quick. Hold on.
The letter.
Yeah. So there's the new. Why did it not go? Oh, I messed that up.
You fixed it. It's good now.
Did I fix it? I think.
No, Christine fixed it.
Of course she did. Of course she did. Whatever.
She's excellent at it.
Okay, so I don't know who can read this, and I think somebody ended up typing it up, but I did not grab that one. So this is the new letter that comes out after Dawn gets. They announced that Dawn's going to be released on 10/30 with no need for rehabilitation.
Time out. Does the bottom of this letter say copyright 2022 Donald Wesley Wells?
So his his channel, his media people put the letter out. So it's like, it's copyrighted now. It's copyrighted by Don.
Donald Wesley Wells.
Yeah.
No.
If we publish an audio format. What the hell? Okay, Donald Wesley.
Whatever.
Credit for this letter goes to Donald Wesley Wells, guys.
Yeah, you can come for me. Oh, hold on. Let's see.
Do you want me to read it?
Oh, Allie sent me it where it's typed up. You want me to read that?
Go ahead.
Okay, so it's Dear Summer, I don't know if there's even the remotest chance of you ever seeing this letter, but I'm going to write it, hoping you will. First of all, I want you to know that I love you with all my heart. I've never missed someone as much as I miss you. My heart aches constantly, and then the thought of someone mistreating you puts so much anguish and fear for you that I can barely breathe at times. I beg God for your life and break out in tears constantly. I'm very glad I got to spend 5 years with you, but now my life always feels like snow, rain, and drizzle, never ending. You are the highlight of my entire miserable existence on this earth. I love you, Summer, with every fiber of my being, sweetheart. I love you and will never give up on you. One day I will see you again. Always and forever, your earthly dad, father. I don't know.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of speculation, once again, that he did not write this letter.
Why?
Because everything seems to kind of change the grammar usage throughout the letters. Hold on. You guys, you got to stop wrestling right next to me.
I wish we could have I wish it later on it'll come out and like from Family Guy when Peter had Lois be his secretary or whatever, and he wrote dictated but not read, Peter Griffin. So maybe that's what happened here with Don Wells. Like maybe he dictated a letter, but he didn't write it or read it. Who
Right. So then,
knows?
but that's weird to me still, because if you're dictating a letter, why is somebody handwriting it to make it look like you actually wrote it?
Well,
Or
that
is he
and
writing them and then sending them to somebody, which is still possible, but
yeah,
I just don't understand that.
I have an issue with some of the language and the verbiage and the syntax used in here, mostly because it's still about him, not about her. And P.S., Mr. Wells, if you want somebody to read a letter to your daughter, which is that's what I'm assuming you were wanting done, as your daughter Claire is just what a kindergarten or first grade, probably can't read cursive. Your handwriting is atrocious. Why not print?
Right.
Well, my
Because it's
dad
not for
is like
summer.
Don Wells' age, and my
Exactly.
dad never prints. It's always cursive. Always.
Did your dad write you letters when you were 6, though, in cursive?
Yeah, no, my dad
It,
still to this day he writes. Yeah, anything he writes, and I know because like we've done like title transfers or like he's
but
written me
how would
letters
you
and
be
stuff.
able to read a letter at 6 that was cursive? That's
Well,
like you're.
I mean, well, not at 6, I
That's
guess.
what I mean. Like it's a the letter isn't that my point is what Teresa said. The letter is not for summer.
No.
No, I agree. Okay, yes, yes, I
That's what I was
agree.
trying to say.
Sorry, yeah, I agree.
That's how I feel too.
Sorry,
It's
Christine. I
just
didn't
that's
mean to
exactly
be so snarky.
that's how I agree with Sis here. I think that they are. They're he's not speaking to his daughter. He's speaking to the audience, and he's doing it in a way that, and it changes every time. It's like he's constantly trying to reach a different audience to see who he can get to like bond with him or whatever you want to call it. Like it's a very weird.
Identify
Yes, thank you.
and
That's the right word.
sympathize. Ugh, he's so disgusting. He's just so gross. I can't.
Everything's for the public display. All of it. All of it.
Yeah.
Also, my dad has very beautiful cursive writing. It's not messy like that, so just want to clarify.
Oh.
Earthly dad
Listen.
isn't new to me. He's talking in terms of already knows she's in heaven.
Correct.
Exactly.
That's correct. Correct.
JPL says, according to Don B., he called Tim and his secretary answered. It happened to be Robin Lane. Too weird, and she probably wrote the letter for Don. Robin Lane was the secretary for Tim Mullins? Really?
I can't. This is just such a circus, and all that's lost in this is Summer.
Something.
She's literally and figuratively lost in this whole case
She really is.
because of this bozo's antics.
Well, I've never seen a church insert themselves into a case so much ever in my life. I mean, usually, like the pastor or something could be around for like support to the family, but to be like on camera and
Like
in
the
case
like almost like the spokesperson. Like
yeah,
they're
that's strange to me.
it's very strange. You're right, Christine. It's very strange. I don't know if you heard me, but I did say I was sorry for being snarky. I didn't mean it to come out snarky. It just did. I'm sorry.
I know, you're fine. I'm just saying, my dad's handwriting is lovely, not like that.
This is poor penmanship. That's I guess that's probably why my snarkiness arises, because if you're going to write something, right, you're trying to communicate, and how much communication can you do if it's sloppy like this? I mean, it's not like it's illegible, but I mean, come on.
And like you said, it's not meant for a 5-6-year-old child. It's just not. That's not a letter to someone.
Yeah.
That is a letter to the public. That is.
It's also and it's my whole miserable life. This isn't,
Yes.
listen, you person.
Right.
Your daughter is missing. You think she's been kidnapped. God knows what's happening to her, and you're over here moaning about your miserable life. Where are you right now? Oh, that's right, in jail. Why? For choices you made.
Yep.
You're not wrongfully imprisoned.
That baby didn't make none of those choices.
Exactly.
You know, he's
You had money. Exactly. You had money to buy vehicles, and you had money for drugs, and you had money for alcohol, but you didn't have money to make that home a safe environment for your children.
Boom, Jen.
That
Boom.
place was a death trap. Stop playing. You to get into your bedroom, it's like you had to, go under this like bootleg Harry
Right.
Potter cabinet under the stairs type bullshit.
Yep.
Stop it.
What was wrong with sheetrock? You know, I understand we all fall hard times and things like that, but there were just certain things that you see in there that caused some things where sheetrock and things like that could, just for the sake of their health and things like that, their wiring and all that. I don't
Right.
know.
You had a big, huge flat screen TV.
Right.
Well, I mean, clean.
Exactly. There you go. Clean.
Yeah, clean.
Good.
Fabulosa is
Why
cheap.
get these cameras in? Clean it.
That's it.
Yeah, Candace and Dawn. Fabulosa is cheap and it smells delicious. And a little goes a long way with some elbow grease. You'll be all right.
Boom.
Listen, you got to pick a struggle. You cannot be poor, which I don't think they were poor, but you can't be poor and dirty.
Exactly. I don't
Clean
think
your freaking house. It's disgusting. Your children, look, you want to live like pigs, you live like pigs. But when you have children, you don't, because children deserve a healthy and safe environment, a clean environment.
there's not one picture of Summers that does not bother me. And
They're all disconcerting.
Right. It's just
The one on my thumbnail is the one that I like. I
Well,
use
yeah,
it. I use
that's
it
her.
because it's one of my favorite pictures of her.
Which one? Let me look.
and
Let
then
me go to.
the church videos where she's just hugged up on everybody. You just see she just wants affection. She just wants love. Like, and she doesn't care how she has to get it. You know, she doesn't care if it's a crowd full of people. She doesn't care if they're
They
reading.
also don't like the fact that they let her just run around in church.
Yes. Well, that's said a
Like, why
lot.
are they not why? And Candace is like sleeping in some of those
Napping.
videos. It was very odd. And to Christine's point, like, how often does the church just come and get involved in the missing child's? And it's not like these people were lifetime church members.
No.
They had joined that church in like, I'm gonna probably say the wrong amount of time now, but it was like 6 months prior.
Right. It's not like it was. Oh yeah, that is a good picture of her with her little bob. She's so cute.
Right. She is very cute with her blonde hair and her blue eyes, and she's
And
very
adorable.
cute.
You know, and that's that's why I think I mean, nobody deserves to have their life taken from them, no matter what age they are. But I think it's especially disheartening and sad when it's children, because what the person really did, or persons really did, when they take a child is they rob the world of potential. You have no idea what that child was going to be and what they would have brought to the world. And now you've not just robbed their family of their child, of their loved one, but you've robbed the world of that child's potential, of who they could have been and what they could have done.
Jen, that was
They could
perfect. That was perfect.
Yeah, I mean, they could be the child that the child you just unalived, you asshole, may have been smart, may have been the person that, cures cancer or
Exactly.
prevents it from happening in the first damn place.
Mhm.
How about that? But here you go,
Yep.
selfish ass.
Wow.
Well, I'm in the minority that I do not believe she's actually dead.
I
know.
keep the
People
hope
are
alive.
like, yeah, you're crazy, but there's just something about it that I'm like, I would not be surprised if this is one of those cases that years down the road somebody's out there and it's her.
You're
Like
not-
Steven Stainer.
Yeah, or like a Jamie Klaus, or like a what's her name?
Or the little boy, Hornbach.
Yeah, like these. I would not be surprised.
I mean,
if
it
she's
does
actually-
happen.
It does. I don't know why I've never been able to get out of the fact that I've not thought that they actually.
But it's rare. Look,
It is rare. It
I
is
mean,
rare.
we are all true crime coverage. That's all we do, right? We're watching all cases all the time, right? And we're having a struggle Sean Hornbeck, we're having a struggle coming up with 10 names, 15 names of children who've gone missing and have survived. It happens, but it's so rare.
Yeah.
Right.
I always hope that she's still alive, and wherever she is, if she is still alive, she isn't suffering, that she's somewhere safe and loved and taken care of. But statistically speaking, you know
I
what I
don't know if
mean?
I feel that way. I don't know if I feel that way. I just feel like
No,
of
no,
all the
I don't
people
think
who
that
just got,
she is. I'm just
yeah, I
saying
don't think she's
if
somewhere being taken care of.
well, that's what I'm not saying that's what I think is happening. What I'm saying is that would be my hope.
Oh,
If
God,
she
yeah.
were still alive, that would be my hope.
Oh, God,
But do I think that's realistic? No.
I struggle. I go back and forth because Teresa's theory on it, I could see why, and for me anyway, there's huge hope in that just off of the theories and scenarios that we've all just kind of pulled down and came up with, and there, with this one, I do feel like there's a lot of hope that she could be, but I also know that, like you said, statistically, it's not great.
Well, they like to say that there's no evidence of abduction, and then they like to say that there's no evidence of death. What's left?
Right. Well, the
They gave
thing
her to
is
somebody
that
else.
how would they be able to determine evidence of abduction? It was a hoarder's nest in that house.
I have no idea.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And the thing is this is the other part where it absolutely could have been an abduction, only because the timeline. Listen, the people who are responsible for knowing what occurred that day, right, aren't great at knowing what time it is or when things happened. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's fundamental right there. You know what I mean? Like, was she? I think this is what I suspect. If it was an abduction, right? I suspect that Summer was outside and unattended for far longer than a quick
Absolutely.
turnaround. And
Mhm.
that's what Candace is probably hiding more than anything. Candace, if you're out there and you can hear me, listen, just come clean, tell the truth, tell the whole timeline. Otherwise, everybody is just spinning in circles.
To me, there's a
They're
solid
not
2
going to
hours that is
punish
not
you
accounted
for being neglectful. They've already taken your boys out of the house and you're likely never going to get them back. But what you could do is save your daughter. So put down the beer, get clear, and tell the truth. You're not going to be punished. What more can people say about you on social media? They've said everything there is to say. I haven't roasted you yet, but I won't. If you come with the whole timeline, I promise I shan't roast you.
Give your daughter a
that's
chance.
a pretty good deal.
We have about 2 Sundays.
So,
Right.
Allie's telling us that there's some recordings that were put out, and I did hear one of them, where Allie H's mom, his older sister is True, and True's been going on this show. Oh gosh, Allie, what is the name of that channel? It's like That Bitch I Am, or something like I Am That Bitch, or something. It's something off the wall. So she's been going on there and talking, and she's like one of the only ones who's actually done an interview and actually cried through any of it. If she can tell me the channel. Let's see. Sis says that the PD arresting Don on the DUI speaks volumes. Everyone in the area knew about Summer, a small, tight-knit area like that. They could have very easily given him a pass and a ride home. It could have.
They could
But I
have.
think, yeah, they wanted him.
I
Yeah,
think what they wanted to do is I think they wanted to separate Dawn and Candace. I think they were trying to do the divide and conquer. And I have to say that I think under different circumstances, i.e. 1100 YouTubers not being involved, and not just YouTubers, that's not fair, but let me put it a different way. 1100 external forces not being added into the mix. If Dawn and Candace were left to their own devices, I think we would have heard something different. I think we'd have heard something by now. Something would have changed by now.
Yep. Completely agree.
Yeah. Okay, so
Because I don't want to blame YouTubers.
I'm That Bitch Mama Bear. And the
All
bitch is
right.
BYTCH.
I'm sorry.
So,
I still
and then JPL, I agree that the full phone calling, so they were calling Robin, calling and calling Robin. They couldn't get a hold of her, so they called David Dotson. David Dotson got a hold of Robin, and him and Robin met out there. I don't know. My only
I don't
assumption
get it.
ever for that was they didn't have any friends.
Yeah,
So
but
they,
why not?
they want some type of people to be there that were more straight lined, like some that were not
Tried to
drug
pick.
dealing neighbors, and you know what I'm saying? Like they needed somebody else there.
I think they were trying to get other representation from their
Like a
local
buffer.
community. Yeah, who could
They needed a
possibly
buffer.
exactly speak for them, show them maybe in a different light, and that they would maybe get past some of the stuff that they were possibly harping on in the beginning. But here, a lot of those things were valid things because from the timeline that we have tried to put together, the YouTubers, we've done a pretty good job considering what the little that we were given, all the crazy stories, all the rumors,
Mm-hmm.
the locals
And
that we
I-
tried to leave.
Yeah. And I will say, I think that there are cases, there are scenarios under which social media, i.e. like us YouTubers, Facebook, stuff like that, they can be beneficial. And what I should have said and been more clear about is if during this time of them being apart, nobody platformed or entertained Candace, I think there might have been something might have shook loose. Maybe shoulda, woulda, coulda. I don't know. I'm not a psychic. I can't predict the future, but she had a lot of people surrounding her and a lot of people distracting her, as it were, and not in a negative way. It's just that when you're by yourself, you have to think and you're forced to face a situation. And that didn't really, you have to, it didn't really happen, which is, I think, what the intention was. I think that's what the police hoped would happen, but it didn't.
I
It's
also
something.
think, I'm sorry, Jen.
Go ahead. No, it's just unfortunate. That's all I was going to say.
I think along the way too, as they maybe tried in the beginning to separate them, and the second they caught on to that is when they truly started to possibly conspire together, even if, let's just say, they were not involved at all, but just to maybe cover up some of the other loose ends that they know CPS is going to now be involved, things like that. And that's where it really got muddy. And they were both talking to the media and they were both talking to you. You know what I mean? Like, so a lot of the lies and the rumors and all that was drummed up right then and there.
Like, I get that Candace probably doesn't want to say, listen, I borrowed a couple of my mom's pills. I got toe up from the flow up. And to be honest with you, I don't know what time it was or how long Summer was out there. And she will, regardless, whether she tells it or she doesn't, I suspect if she doesn't tell it, it's going to be worse. But either way, she's going to carry guilt. But if you could do something, just at this point, it's time to just put all of that in the fuck it bucket and just tell all the things. Just tell it.
Yeah, I think that my problem is they feel like they think they got away with whatever they did. So there's no reason for them to tell it because they already know the answer. And to them, they think that they're the only ones who deserve the answer. I know people like Don is a freaking wackadoodle. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure he actually knows the answer. I don't know if they've ever told the guy.
I don't think that Don even knows. Forget the answer. He doesn't even know the question.
Correct. Yes. That is he just doesn't, I don't think he actually has a clue what the heck is going on. And I would not be surprised if he tried to stay with Candace throughout all that. Well, one, because they're so codependent on each other, but two, because he wanted to figure out if she was going to tell him the truth. But these people are, Candace Wells is a pathological liar in life. She's done nothing to better her life or her children's life in the way of like taking care of them, like clothing, food, living situations. She's lost 3 of her children. Now she's lost all 7 of her children, mostly due to drugs and substance abuse.
Right. That's the part that doesn't make sense to me. Like, okay, you've had other children, but you have 3 children with Dawn. The love of your life. And listen, to each his own. All right. Like he wouldn't be my choice, but whatever. I don't judge. You know, you love who you love. It is what it is. Right. So Summer is missing. You've lost one of your three children. Wouldn't you do everything? And it's not like these were crazy hurdles and hoops that CPS was asking them to jump through. Like these were reasonable requests. And yet none of it was done. None of it. Wouldn't you want the two remaining children back in your home to have some semblance of family?
Well, it's like so CPS comes out and tells them, and I don't know what it's called, DCFS, whatever it's called there, comes out and tells them, hey, you know, the two older boys can't be in the room with Summer anymore. They need their own room. So they build onto this room. And I've said this every time I ever talk about Summer. The guy was in construction. Candace
Right.
helps with his construction business.
Right.
They have acres of land. Why this
Right.
house is this tiny little shack, or they don't do something to fix up some of these other places, these other, you know, buildings that they have on the property. They don't do anything to take care of any of that where these kids could have a roof over their head that's secure. But they go and they
Right.
build this one little room. So now you're building. You're invested. You're going to build it and you're going to make it better. Why not continue? Now you still have, now these two boys have to share a room that's upstairs right next to the kitchen, and you still have Summer downstairs. Why aren't we still building? Why are we just adding this one tiny room that fits a set of bunk beds just to appease them? And everybody's like, they're going to clean up their act because they want their boys back. And I'm like, they're not going to clean up their act because I don't think they give two shits about having their kids. They've lost every kid they've ever had.
Correct. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Yeah, sweetie, I agree. Candace does not care about anybody else except for herself. I don't even think her and her mom are speaking anymore.
Candace cares about Candace. Look, not all women are mother material. And not even mom, because there's a difference. You know, having a child makes you a mother. Raising the child makes you a mom. And so not all women are made to be moms, and that's just the truth. And Candace is probably one of those women who just isn't built to be a mom. There's no shame in that, but stop popping out kids then.
But here's the thing. It's like she took them places and did stuff with them. There's tons of pictures posted, which is why at the beginning I gave her like a semi pass, because I'm like, she's not like just dropping the kids off and going and doing her own thing all the time. She's taking them all kinds of places. But then there was the weird thing about the boys being at home that day and her trying to say, well, we didn't think we were going to be gone that long, so there was no problem with leaving the boys home. And it bothered me so much because the hospital was a half hour away. So you're talking an hour just back and forth to the hospital, and that's like mom gets in, or, you know, Grandis gets in, sees doctor, gets whatever she needs, and is on their way back home. An hour and a half?
Yeah, but okay, she was seen what, in the emergency room? Or did she have an appointment? Because, you know, hospitals can have like clinics, you know, and stuff like that. So was it through the ER, or was she seen because she had an appointment? Yeah. So y'all, let's be honest here. Who is in and out of an ER in less than 3 hours?
Not around here, you're not.
No, I don't know anywhere that you are. I mean, because, you know, an ER isn't like your family physician, right? When you go in to see your family physician, you say, my knee hurts, right? He or she does the standard stuff. They weigh you, they do your blood pressure, all that stuff. But having a doctor's appointment has never been less than an hour for me. I've never just gone to my doctor's appointment early. I'm always early, and never had to wait past my scheduled appointment time. Then you get back there and you're waiting again, because first the nurse comes in and she does all the things, right? And then then you're waiting, and then the doctor comes in. Seeing a doctor is never a quick, no matter how it happens. So what do you mean you didn't think you were going to be gone that long? Are you new to the ER, Candace?
Yes, that bothered me. So then why did you leave all three of your boys at home when you're not even going to be anywhere close to where they are?
Do they have 4 kids together or 3?
They have 4. They have 3 boys and a girl.
Okay, 3 boys and a girl. Okay.
Yeah. And then she had 3 before Dawn, and he had 2 before Candace.
They're just...
Right. So the only way I think that Dawn is in on the whole thing, and this is my opinion, I think would be if one of the, especially the older boy, did something. If one of the boys did something, that would be my only. That they'd be like, okay, we have to cover this up because he's going to go to prison for the rest of his life.
Well, I'll say this. I am intrigued and I am curious. The boys have been away from the family for what, a year at this point or close to it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm curious if they were witness to something, anything. I feel like they might have talked by now, but maybe not. Maybe not.
Well, not if this kid has the fear of death in him. But there was also the rumor that the boys were separated. There was 2 in one house and 1 in another. And that always intrigued me. And I don't know if that ever panned out to be true or not true, or anybody even actually knows. But I don't know. I found that interesting. And then some of the evidence that they took in had to do with what seemed to me, which would be like large children's clothes, boys' clothes. So I don't know. I could talk about Summer forever. So I don't want to do that because I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this trial.
Okay.
Because I know that you guys have been following this. And for anybody in chat who doesn't know this case, I'm going to tell you right now, it is a major trigger warning. This guy is a piece of crap. And when we talk about real pieces of crap, this guy is a real piece of crap. And he is currently on trial right now. I think this is like day 3 or 4? 4. Yeah. So on Jenn's channel, I don't know if I have wrenches in here right now, but if anybody could drop Jenn's channel, that would be great. She's covering the trial itself. So if you want to watch it with commentary and good Jenn jokes, then head over there. But I just want them to be able to talk a little bit about this case because it's just horrendous.
Yeah, it is horrendous. So in 2008, in Irving, Texas, a 911 dispatcher gets a call, and it's a young female on the other line. And she said that she has been shot, her and her sister. They're in the back of a taxi cab that their father owned. And the 911 call is gut-wrenching. There's a couple of documentaries, and I don't have the names of them like off the top of my head. But if you Google out honor killing documentaries, the girls are Sarah and Amina Said, and their father's what's his Yaser Said. Yaser Said is his name, and he essentially went on the run and was on the run for 12 years. And I know that he was arrested in Justin, Texas, which isn't all that far from where the crime took place in Irving. What happened was, prior to that, a handyman had gone to Mr. Said's son's apartment. There was a leak reported, and the maintenance guy knocked on the door but couldn't get in. So he went down to the manager's office to get the keys, but the door was locked from the inside with the bolt lock that's keyless. So anyways, an older gentleman lets him in, and he went down to the maintenance office or the manager's office to let the manager know. And she called the FBI because she'd been talking, they'd been working with the FBI. They were watching that's the girl's brother. They were watching his apartment. So the FBI comes out, and anyways, they end up finally arresting him. And he's on trial right now. And I have to tell you guys, it is an extremely contentious trial. I've never seen a defense team object so much and object on hearsay. For example, they put up a display of photographs of the family and how they were connected. And the defense objected and said that was hearsay because the FBI agent who was speaking and testifying is not the person who put together that display. And so therefore it was hearsay. And I have for what? Well, go ahead.
Was it sustained?
No, eventually it was argued and argued and argued. And eventually the judge, initially she said that she could use it and but as a matter of record, not demonstratively, meaning she couldn't publish it to the jury. And the defense team continued to argue so much that she ended up ruling that it could be used both as a matter of record and demonstratively. So then it was allowed to be shown to the jury. Yeah, but this was the biggest thing that happened today. So the maintenance man, no, they had one of the officers from the Irving Police Department testify, and then they had an in-camera hearing, so out of the presence of the jury. They bring up she is no longer with the Dallas County Medical Examiner's office, but she was at the time that Amina and Sarah's autopsies were performed. Okay. And they were questioning her, which I was already like, wait, what? Why are they doing that now? Why would there be an in-camera hearing right at this moment? I mean, this trial has been set since forever, right? He was captured in 2020. And surely, they've done the voir dire and all of that, right? Okay, so I'm watching this go down. And what's ended up happening is the defense team is accusing the medical examiner of being on a Brady list. And I must confess, I was not sure what a Brady list was. So what do? Hit the Googles like every normal person does, right? So I hit the Googles, and what it is basically is it is a list that prosecutors keep for law enforcement or very rarely, but in some cases, medical examiners and other people that would be part of the prosecution's office that work on cases. And if they've ever been, if their credibility is in question, they get put on this Brady list. And the defense is alleging that she is on such a list. And further, they allege that the medical examiner who took over her cases says that she has made serious errors in autopsies. And she's saying, no, the only thing I ever did that was negative while working at the only thing I ever falsified or ever could be called into question as far as my credibility goes is that there was some issue with the time card. She says she had vacation time and took it for sick time and took it to take care of her son. I guess there's they say she didn't, whatever, right? But then, and I think, okay, this is fairly straightforward. We're going to, okay, no, then there's freaking more. The defense attorney stands up and he wants a mistrial declared because this information about her being on a potential Brady list and having potentially committed gross errors during her autopsies, the defense team says that they only found out July 22nd, 2022. And the trial started, what, Monday or Tuesday?
What? Oh, and
Monday
when did the crime actually occur?
The beginning of January of 2008.
It was January 1st.
January 1st. Thank you, Christine. Yeah, January 1st.
Wow.
He was on the run for 12 years.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. So what they end up doing then is the judge is sort of not exactly, there ended up not being like a final like ruling. Like she didn't even really discuss this mistrial thing, because then what happened is the medical examiner then says, Your Honor, can I be excused to go and call my attorney? Because
What?
I'm being accused. Yeah, I'm being accused of some stuff here, and I want to call my attorney. So the judge says, yes, you can, and then ends up allowing for a 15-minute break because she wasn't going to. The defense wanted a break. And she said, we just took a break, basically. But then a medical examiner wants to call her attorney. So the 15-minute break goes by, and the prosecution says, listen, she's still on the phone with her attorney. But what she wants to know is, can her attorney be present during cross-examination? And the judge says, yes.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, okay, they're going to have maybe one witness, right? And she's going to be back in here. And then she'll start her testimony on direct, probably finish, there'll be lunch. She'll probably finish up direct and after lunch. And then, after that'll be cross. Well, no, they ended up going to lunch and she still wasn't called. There were 3 other witnesses that they called in between, for her turn. And I was going to watch this afternoon, but then I got distracted because I remembered that American Horror Stories had just put out 2 new episodes. So I went to watch that, and then I was upset about that. So then and then later on you messaged me, so whatever. But I didn't get to watch it. But I want to know what happened, obviously. But the courtroom has been, the testimony, especially on cross, has been extremely contentious because it seems to me that the defense's plan of action is to attack the credibility of law enforcement and whether or not they did their job. And mainly a lot of it has to do with, was Mr. Said unfairly targeted because he's Muslim? There was a lot of argument today from the Irving detective that testified about the use of the term honor killings, because he said we asked the media not to when it was on I think when he was moved to the 10 most wanted list, there was going to be something written up about honor killings, and he had asked somebody not to do that. But of course, then they said, well, what about this paper and that paper, or this reporter and that reporter? And he said, look, I don't go around and tell, it's not a term we used. We're not the ones who came up with the term honor killing. We never referred to this crime as that. And I can't go around to every media outlet every day, all day, basically, and tell them what they can and can't print. If they call me for a quote, I'll tell them it's not a term we use.
Okay, so then I have to ask, what are they trying to say that the reason he did this for is?
Well, what they're saying is, what the Irving police detective said is, murder is murder, and there is no honor in murder, and that's why we don't refer to these as honor killings. We refer to these as just straight murder.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to, there's not a separate crime for an honor killing.
No,
it's punishment.
No, and see, this is the thing.
That doesn't really have anything to do with.
Well, the Irving, the detective, he slipped up, and I don't know if the jury caught it because he did fix himself. But when he was explaining it, he said, honor killing is not a term that we use. It's a term from a different culture, something to that effect. And it wasn't nice how he put it. It really wasn't. And it seemed a little derogatory. I'm not going to lie. That's how it came out. Whether that was his intention or not, that is how it came out. And the defense attorney picked up on it immediately because he almost said it under his breath and called him on it. And then he very quickly corrected it and said, it is a cultural term that the Irving Police Department doesn't use. There is no honor in a murder. It's just murder.
Right.
He fixed it, but it did come off. It was on, and I think what I will say is this: what I think happened really is that he said it under his breath, and it wasn't intended to be derogatory to another culture. I think he was very frustrated because of the line of questioning that had been occurring prior to that and how contentious it had been between him and the defense attorney. And I think he said it out of frustration. I think the tone was more of frustration towards the attorney and not at a different culture. Do you know what I'm saying? But the defense did, and I have to give it up to the defense attorneys. They did an excellent job doing exactly what a defense attorney is supposed to do. They took that and they used it, and they the right. It is what it is. They're doing a hell of a job. I think should he be found guilty, he's going to have a hell of a time trying to mount a successful and effective assistance of counsel appeal, because these guys are doing like a bang up job. But it's the argument back and forth between like the objections and why they're objecting to it and stuff like that. I've never in the history of all the trials that I've ever watched, ever seen a defense object to a piece of evidence or an exhibit, in this case photographs, on the basis of hearsay. They were objecting to
He wasn't
hearsay
the guy
on
who made the diagram of these people. So
correct. So but I've never seen it done. I've usually that doesn't happen. He wasn't you know what I'm saying? And the other thing is that when the FBI agent was testifying, they objected a ton to hearsay, which that one was sustained because the truth, and it had to do with the son. So the son at some point went to Canada and was there for like 6 months. And while the FBI was working cohesively, different agents were working on different aspects of trying to capture Mr. Said. So the agent that was testifying, while he was aware of the simultaneous investigation and going on to locate Mr. Yaser's son, he wasn't directly involved with it. And so that's what they were objecting about him testifying to certain aspects, because he was not directly involved. He would have heard about any investigation and the results. That would have been hearsay. But they were on it.
okay, so who's testified so far?
Oh gosh.
I mean, like the major players, not like you don't need to.
The mother,
Okay,
mother and the aunt, their mother and their aunt has testified so far.
And what are they saying?
I didn't get to watch the mom's the mom's testimony. This is what my plan was. I covered that. I decided to go live today to do it. Right. And then I realized, oh crap, I've missed like 3 days. 3 days of a trial is like a lifetime.
Yep.
So what I had intended to do was go live tonight, and then I changed my mind and like do a recap, just watch the testimony and get caught up, right? And then be ready to go Monday. I'm just going to make some adjustments. I'll just do it Saturday night instead of Friday night. No big deal. Because I want people to hear the opening statements, because I did watch. And unfortunately, I watched it on Court TV. If anybody's going to watch the trial and not watch it with me, I would suggest you use the local station WFAA to watch it, because Court TV's audio is trash, and masks are mandatory in the courtroom. However, when the witnesses are on the stand, they are asked to wear the clear masks or face shields so that you can still see their face. And there was the maintenance guy that testified had a translator, because he clearly understands and can speak English. I think he felt more comfortable being asked the questions in Spanish and then relaying them in Spanish. But there were a few times when the prosecution would ask him a question and he would answer it like in English. But I will say this, for the translator's part, she was translating what he was saying, like verbatim, no colloquialisms used at all. Because we would say in English, I put the key in the lock, right? But in Spanish, it literally translates into I introduced the key to the lock, and that is exactly the way that she translated it. I've never seen that done either. I thought that was fascinating. There's little things that I find fascinating that probably other people are like, what the hell, Jen? Who cares? But to me, that was interesting.
Well, that's the cool part. Okay, so you gotta tell me about what led up to this to begin with. What was his issue with the daughters?
I have to go back.
They had like American boyfriends.
Yes,
And
they did.
He was against that. He only Muslims. in there.
Okay, so they had like white boyfriends.
Well,
No,
no, one of them was Mexican.
one of them was Mexican, and the other I don't remember.
Me either.
But I don't feel like he was like Caucasian.
I don't
think
think he was either. I think
I
his
think they
issue
both
was,
had like ethnic boyfriends, but they
hmm
were like westernized. Like they met them in
yeah,
high school at their high
Okay,
school.
so were the girls born in America?
Yes.
So
yes,
they're
but they
born
have
and
dual
raised in America.
citizenships. Yeah, but they have dual citizenships. But see, this is so the whole family dynamic is very interesting because when Yaser married the girl's mother, they had 3 children together, right? I think that's right. They have a son and then the 2 girls.
Uh-huh.
The his wife, he married her when she was 15 and he was 30.
Yeah. And I mean, there's all kinds of things. The consensus is people do not like her, Patricia Said,
No,
because
they do not.
That's the mom.
yeah,
Yes.
because she kept putting her daughters in line of harm over and over. Like when he actually committed the crimes, they had been away. They ran away from him with the
Hmm.
mom and their boyfriends to Oklahoma, and they
That's
were hiding
correct.
out. And they were
Hmm.
safe. And there was a home or something that like the mother, Patricia's mother, owned, and he didn't know where it was at. And so they ran away, and they were fine. And the mom decided on because Yasser kept calling the mom and harassing the mom, and for some reason he could always get her to do what he wanted. And then she said it's time to go back, so they went back, and like literally I think like the next day, it was January 1st, and
Hmm.
he took them to ice cream or something,
Yes.
but then he ended up shooting them in the car in the taxi cab.
Hmm.
Okay,
So they were
so
found in a taxi cab, and he's a taxi driver, so I don't know how they're gonna, you know.
The car is
so
registered to him as well.
Yeah.
did he own a taxi company where he had multiple cars?
No, he was just a taxi driver, I
Yeah.
think.
I
One
think
car.
yeah, one car.
Well,
Okay,
actually, I think that they had been talking to like maybe like a dispatch or something.
Hmm.
They were talking to like a dispatch manager, so maybe he worked for the company, but that was his taxi that they found him in.
okay. They take him out for ice cream.
Hmm.
So and is the mom there?
Mm-mm.
No,
No,
it was just the father and the 2 daughters.
And how old are the girls at this time?
17 and 18.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, like one of the boyfriends and his father ended up. They saw them driving in the taxi on their way to
Hmm.
ice cream. You know, I don't know if the ice cream ever happened or not or whatever about the ice cream, but they saw Amina, Sarah, and Yaser driving, and they followed them for a little while, but then they stopped following them.
Why were they following them?
They were concerned. Like the boyfriends were concerned because when they got back from Oklahoma and then they parted ways, Amina said to her boyfriend, "This is the last time I'm ever going to see you."
Holy
Yep.
shit.
She like has had premonition about it.
Okay. So
And see, the problem arises in that Yasser has been described as very, very controlling. Okay. And basically, what his defense is this: this is my religion, this is my faith, and I live my life, and I conduct my life and my home in accordance to my faith. And so, I mean, at this point, it's the contention is arising because they're attacking the credibility of the entire investigation, and that is what a defense attorney should do. There's nothing wrong with that. But where it's going to get very tricky is when they start talking about the family dynamics. That's what's going to be tricky because when you watch the documentary, you do get a sense that he is very, very controlling. But again, that is what this is these are his words, not mine. don't know very much about the Muslim faith. I'm not Muslim, but I do believe in everybody's right to to freedom of religion. So his argument is that no, it has. It's not that you guys are perceiving it that way because that is not your culture. This is my culture. This is my religion, and I should be allowed to the freedom of it.
So wait, so he should be allowed the freedom of his religion, which also means to kill his children if they don't
Well,
follow
I
the
don't.
religion?
It's not about the honor killing so much, more about the family dynamic in the home. See, what a lot of people have an issue with and take umbrage with, and I understand it, is the fact that their mother failed to protect those girls on every single level, right? But more than that, his son, their brother, helped him. He aided and at the very least, he aided and abetted him when.
Didn't they find him at the brother's house? I'm sorry. Did we already talk
Okay,
about that?
hold on, don't go there yet because we got to go back to the taxi cab.
Oh.
I want to know. So they're supposedly going for ice cream. We don't know if they ever make it to ice cream, but then
Well, but because there's so much explanation that goes into this, like his brothers or the rest of his family, but his brother, I don't know how many brothers he had. They were putting pressure on Yaser too because the girls had these Western boyfriends.
Correct, and it was not a good look.
So the family was like being in a family situation was very uncomfortable for the girls, also, and for Yaser like more and more because they're disrespecting him, making him look weak or whatever to his family. So there is a lot of like family dynamic, religious
yes,
that goes into the whole entire thing. But
okay,
ultimately, I think his brother was also a taxi driver, and they say that that's how he got away. That there was another taxi there that he got out of his and into that one.
okay. Well, I got it. So what happens with the taxi? This is where it takes place at. Is in a taxi?
Yeah,
yes.
outside of a hotel.
So
I guess I'm confused because I mean, there's two of them and one of him.
But he shot them, babe.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's his dad, and it's their dad,
And she's trying to call for help because that's like the big thing about this case is that there is that devastating 911 call.
Exactly.
Where, she's calling for help while it's happening. You can like hear them, like, and then you hear the bullets. Like no.
Which one's calling for help?
Sarah.
Can we listen to the 911 call?
Sure.
Is it too graphic?
It's
I mean, like,
trigger
is
warning.
Chatty, you guys okay? Big trigger warning?
Yeah, it's a huge trigger warning.
Big triggers. I have it ready, but yeah, big trigger warnings for everybody. Did we give everybody enough time to like get off?
There's a 20-second delay between you saying trigger warning and them hearing the trigger warning. So we need to give at least, maybe have them put in chat or something. I don't know to let.
Missy already put it in chat, so it's in there.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so we're about to play this call. If you don't want to hear it, it is very devastating. Go away now. All right.
You come back in a few minutes.
You guys can see the screen. Well, then nothing happens on the screen, but you ready?
Yes, babe. You're doing an excellent job.
Okay.
What's going on, man?
I'm dying, not your job.
Irving Fire Department. Ma'am, are you still there? Ma'am, are you still there? All I got is she's telling me she's dying. I'm getting her. I've got a. Why are you still there, ma'am? Ma'am, what is your address? Ma'am.
The cab in our cab stand. Doesn't appear that there's a driver, but there are two people inside the cab, one in the passenger seat and one in the rear of the vehicle. One of the people in the passenger seat looks like she's hunched over and she has blood coming from her ear. It doesn't look like they're alive to me.
I understand that. We've got our officers en route.
What's it?
Wait, that's okay. So, does somebody take her phone, or is that two separate calls, or is that somebody else calling? You can just hear her in the background.
No, she calls, and then you can hear them talking to the person that finds their bodies because they don't find them. They're not able to get location from them, and so somebody come across their bodies like 45 minutes later. I don't know, some amount of time later, not terribly long. And
So
then
that's
called
two
in.
separate calls right there.
Yeah, so that was her call, and then the person that called in 911 that discovered the bodies.
Wow.
That was a lot. It's like frightening. It's
Well,
She
you
called
like
the-
you can hear her moaning and stuff, and it's just really, really sad. Terrible.
Amelia's saying there's a cleaned up version. Was that the cleaned up version?
No, probably not.
And it was 2 calls, you said, Christine?
Yeah, well, one of them was a man. So there was a man calling in the bodies.
So the cleanup one, you can hear her death.
Gotcha. Oof.
Well, I mean, these are available on YouTube. I don't know that we need to
Yeah, no, I'm good.
go searching. They're
I'm good. I got
available on YouTube.
I got the idea of it. Okay, so he just shoots them in the cab and then he leaves.
And then he leaves. Yes, he takes off.
And we think that either the son or his brother or somebody took him in a different taxi. Like
Yeah,
they
the
knew
son
that
was
this
younger.
is what he was doing.
The son was like younger than the girls,
Yes.
so he probably wasn't the getaway driver.
No. They suspect it was the brother. Here's the thing. What I was talking, but I was on mute, so nobody could hear me, and I was like, "Why am I just being ignored?" Oh, because you're on mute, dummy. All right. So, what I want to impress upon you, Teresa, is this happened in like a public place. This happened in front of a hotel. So, after the girls are shot, you hear Sarah's 911 call is long. It was an open mic for quite a few minutes, but like Christine said, they never could get the location of where she was, and the second call then is a person who likely heard the gunshots and came out to investigate. Even if they had gotten a location, I don't think the girls would have survived. I don't know yet because I haven't for sure because I didn't get to watch the medical examiner's testimony, so I don't know yet.
Okay, so starting Saturday, you're starting from the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Saturday night, and then we'll be all caught up for Monday.
Okay.
I may can even do if we don't get through it all Saturday night, I could do a Sunday morning too, but I have a standing date with Christine G. That's me. On Sundays to go over. We do some interrogations and stuff.
And then so like more to their
Are you doing any more Diane Downs before you move on real quick?
Oh my God! See, there's so much more, and I cannot.
I want you guys to do more Diane Downs.
Well, I'm not going to do any more Diane Downs with Oprah because she freaking copyright claimed to me.
Did she really?
She did, and my video is not playable.
You know, the parole hearings are really something else.
We should do that, but it's only audio.
Every time she says something, she says, "And that's that. That's that." Like,
yeah, she has some real and that's that. I don't. We can do more Diane Downs if we ain't doing anything that has anything to do with no Oprah.
Yeah, screw.
Okay,
Oprah.
so what are you guys talking about Sunday night?
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
We're gonna wait. Oh, that's Sunday. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's like 2 days.
No, because tomorrow there's more. You're starting back at the beginning of the Yaser Said.
Yeah.
Let me say this about Yaser. I'm trying to say.
Okay, do it. Sorry, I had to ask that, otherwise, I was going to forget.
There was SA allegations, or I don't know how far that went.
There was
in between the father and the girls previously, and the mother went back with the girls. So
correct.
She was not protecting them.
No.
So that was something.
There's allegations of the dad doing that?
Yes.
Yes. And so that's a huge deal to everybody that knows the case about why they don't like the mother, is because there was claims of that.
Correct.
That she knew.
And there, Correct.
Yeah.
And the girls told her. And I also feel like there were, uh, there was some DV involved as well.
Yeah, and people were reporting her because the aunt reported, and even on
Mm-hmm.
the stand, they asked her, they asked her about it, and they said, "Did you call Child Protective Services on your sister?" And she said, "Absolutely, I did. I sure did." She was like and she was about it. She's like, "I did that when she went back with them after after that happened, after they accused him of that." So they were on the radar. Like there was, contact at least.
Mm-hmm.
And it went this far to the point where Amina was telling people, "You're not going to see me again. And when I die, my dad is going to," she emailed one of her teachers, her like counselor, her teacher. She emailed the teacher like 10 days before it happened, like
Yes.
telling them about how they were going to run away and they had a plan because her dad would absolutely, without a question, if he got hold of them again, her dad would kill them. Like she saw it coming.
But before that, Yasser was going to take them to Egypt. That was the other thing.
He was
Is
just
that
gonna take him there and leave him like with his family.
I think he was going to take them and leave them and be there with them because they have dual citizenship. And that was the other thing that they didn't want. Because if I'm remembering right, I might be misspeaking, but if I'm remembering correctly from the documentary, Yasser's solution to all of this was to take the girls to Egypt, and they were going to
They
be
wouldn't
in
be able to
arranged
leave.
marriage, right? But they were also going to be in arranged marriages.
Mm.
See,
That was the other
I
thing.
have such a hard time with that because I get the freedom of religion, but then you also bring your children into a totally different culture and you're raising them in that culture. You're not raising them in your culture necessarily. This is a melting pot. Like there's so much around. Like I don't know how you can expect that you're not gonna.
Well, he would pull them out of school and stuff if he thought. I think he did. He had pulled them out of another school because he thought they were getting too westernized or something, and they moved. And then they started the new high school or whatever. But like he was not against like pulling them out of school and keeping them home. And he would go. One of them had a job, or maybe both. I don't know. But he would go to like Sarah. I think it was Sarah that they would go, and he'd go there early to pick her up, and he would sit in the car watching her with binoculars to make sure she wasn't talking to boys and stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy stuff. Very controlling.
Yeah, it's the whole scenario, the whole situation is sad. And the thing is that bless these girls' hearts. They did everything that was within their power to do as, first of all, minors.
Yeah.
And to try to alert and to get help that, they tried. They were trying to get away. They were trying to escape. They were trying to make people whose job it is to advocate and help them and protect them, to help them. And, they've tried every which way that they could think of it. And it just was all
And
unsuccessful.
talk about like stealing potential from, humankind.
Mm-hmm.
These girls were very smart, really smart. Like Amina wanted to be a doctor.
Yep.
And she probably would have been. And Sarah was a great athlete and also great grades. Like they were very, very like capable humans,
Correct. They would have been a wonderful contribution to society. And again, now it's sad. It's sad. And I think that the brother has already been tried, I feel like, for what his part in it, but I'm not 100%.
What did he actually do?
Aiding and abetting and
But the kid was like 16.
No, not their brother.
Oh, the
Yaser.
uncle.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yaser. Yeah, the
Yaser.
uncle. So their uncle. Sorry, their uncle,
Okay.
his brother.
Well, he
I
didn't
feel
go
like-
under one too.
But the son was under suspicion for aiding and abetting a fugitive.
Yeah,
He was helping hide
because
his dad.
Correct. Because once his son was old enough, his son went and rented that apartment. The apartment was in his son's name,
Okay, so
and
the
he was
son
80.
contributed later
Correct.
as he got older in part of this 12 years. Okay, so I looked up. So Yaser Said's brother got 12 years.
Okay, thank you.
And Yaser Said, the
12 years
brother of
for
Yaser
what,
Said,
though?
sentenced to 12 years for concealing the murder suspect. This is after the nephew was sentenced to 10 years for harboring a murder suspect.
So that would be,
His son Islam and brother Yasin were found guilty of harboring him in conspiracy and are spending 10 years and 12 years behind bars.
yeah, so his son
was
is
the
already,
son, yeah.
yeah.
So his son is 10 years, and the
Mhm.
brother, the girl's uncle, got 12.
And they, like the brother, for his part in the aiding and abetting was not just like being just it didn't stop with him just getting him away from the crime scene. He contributed, he helped, financially. And
Yeah.
the
Conspiracy to
suspicion
conceal
has,
a person from arrest, concealing a person from arrest, and conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding. He was sentenced in Texas. Dang. Okay.
And he was no champion. The brother, Amina and Sarah's brother, Islam, he was like no
Yeah.
champion for them.
He
He
pled
would like
guilty.
tell on them and
he,
watch them for the dad and stuff.
yes, he would. He was the reporter.
Hmm.
So he pled guilty and got 10 years in a federal prison.
Yep.
The Islam did.
Yep.
Like even their own family members, like their mom wouldn't take up for them. The brother was against them. Like
Their
they
mother
went uncles.
wasn't, yeah, exactly, Christine. And the mom, the other thing people don't like about the mom is that she wasn't incredibly cooperative in the murder investigation of her daughters.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Because she knew what he was doing.
We don't know that.
Yeah,
Nobody
that
knows
Yeah.
this
if she
here's
was.
the thing, that I'm sure that she's been investigated, and I don't know if charges are pending on her. She says no charges at this time, but I know they were watching her, and I know that they've
Did she not
been,
ever go and see her husband for 12 years?
not that they found, not that they can look. I don't know what they know though, and this is the thing, they're not going to bring that up at trial. They're
Like,
not going to
because
bring that up
honestly,
at
I
his
wasn't
trial.
expecting that she would testify against him. So they might have something on her,
Hmm.
honestly, because I don't see why else she would have testified because he was that uncooperative.
And not only that, well, see, this is the other thing. I don't. A wife cannot be compelled to testify against her husband in the state of Texas. There's other states that are like that too, but Texas for sure, for sure.
Right, but if they're
And
threatening her with charges,
well, of course, that's different, but you can't make a wife testify against her husband. However, you can't, if she is facing her own charges, you can cut a deal with her where she gets immunity for testifying.
I don't see that she would testify in any other any other scenario.
I
So
don't either.
there's
Wait,
something up with
what
that.
nationality is this wife?
American.
Yeah,
Wha- Wait, what?
yeah, she's as white can be.
Okay, because I'm looking her up right now, and I don't understand then.
Yeah, Delana, the brother, the girl's brother harbored the dad. You know, whether he says that he knows he harbored a fugitive, whether or not he says he knows he killed them or not, but they knew that the men in that family knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, I don't understand why. Okay? So he married a white woman,
Yeah,
had children with a white woman,
yeah,
and didn't want his daughters dating outside of his race.
religion, yeah.
So it was outside of the religion. It had nothing to do with race.
I don't know that it had any. I don't know to what extent, I'm sure. I don't know what to extent. Yeah, but they were not Muslim. The boyfriends were not Muslim, and that was the problem.
All right. Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna go to Jen's and watch this because that's ridiculous to me.
Yeah, it's a really not, I hate to say something like this is so terrible. It's, it's fascinating, but there's a lot to it for sure.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Now I'm too deep in like Google's.
Yeah, this is one of those cases. But if you want a good, while you're Googling, Teresa, Google the documentary,
Yeah.
because that one is excellent. It's got
Yeah.
it's full of details, and the mother participated, so she's interviewed in that.
Hmm.
And then there's the book, The Price of Honor.
Yep.
Yeah. I just saw that.
Is that
Yep.
it's a book or is that the documentary?
Uh,
both?
I think it's both. I think the book was, or the documentary was based on the book.
Yeah. Whatever is the first documentary that pops up on, that comes up. Oh, bye, Jen.
All right,
The
yeah,
one
I'll
that's
look
on
at that.
YouTube, it pops up like right away, and it's
It's
really,
like
really
Amazon on Amazon Prime. There's the Price of Honor.
Yeah, it's probably
So
that one. It's broken up into a few different parts on YouTube, but
that's just crazy to me.
it's a really good. It like really goes into explaining everything and stuff. So
Yeah, I did not expect to Google her and see a white woman. I'm gonna be really honest with you.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I don't know what happened to Jen. Her phone died probably? She's probably like, crap, my phone died. All right, well, so we got the documentary, The Price of Honor. We got the trial going on. The other two have already been charged. I don't know what's up with this mom. She went by, her name was Tissy. Her name is Patricia.
Mhm. Yeah.
Patricia Owens. I'd like to know when she divorced him. Do we know that? Because they
Not
refer to her as
divorced.
the ex. They refer to him as the ex-husband's murder trial. Like mother of Sarah and Amina Said testifies at ex-husband's murder trial.
Oh, I had no idea. That's
So I'm
surprising to
wondering.
me.
There she is. There she is. She's back.
Sorry, I pushed a button.
Oh, I was like, her phone probably died. Okay.
No, I have it on the charger, but it's not long, and I got about 10 more minutes, and then I'm
You're fine.
Yeah,
We're
gonna
gonna
get
wrap
off
up
of here.
anyway. We were gonna talk about Dylan tonight, but I don't think we're not going to.
Okay.
We're gonna be paneling hopefully soon with Amber True Seeker and CDT for Dylan Round's panel. So we'll just talk about some of the stuff there. Like they've talked about a lot of it too, but
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Thing.
yeah, no, that's fine. It's almost 9:00 here, which means it's almost midnight for two of you, and it's late. So yeah, no, Jen. I thank you so much for coming on. The doc is called "The Price of Honor."
Yeah.
It's on. When I look it up, it says it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
It's called
That sounds.
Wait, it's called I'm gonna give the link right now. Hold on. I found
Okay,
it.
good. That's all. That's all I've seen so far. So, if you guys want to watch the trial, make sure that you're over at the Ward Case Studies.
Sorry. Mhm.
She's playing random stuff over in the background. But thank you, Jen. I love when you come on. I love your brain. I love your face. I love everything about you. I'm just serious, dude. I love the way you think.
Thank you.
You push me outside of my limits and my comfort zone and go, wait a minute, you know what? Let me think of it that way. And it's always such an interesting conversation with you.
Thank you so much. I feel the exact same way about you girls. You guys do make me think about things in a different way. Christine does, Michelle does, you, Teresa, you do. You guys make me consider things I hadn't considered before. And we do. We have the best conversations. I just thank you. I love being here. Thank you so much for having me. And we got to get you. We got to get you guys over to my panel with me.
For sure. Let's do some roast. Let's have some
Let's
fun.
do some
We
Diane
should.
Downs.
We can't listen. I'm down for Diane. Listen, I'm down for Downs. It's just no.
Yeah.
Oprah is out.
No Oprah.
Oprah, the friendship door shook, closed.
You get a copyright. You get a copyright. You get a copyright.
Her parole audio is, I mean, it's also gold. That woman
We
is
could
just,
do that. Let's do her parole. That's what we should do. Let's
There's
put
three
it.
There's a
parts.
that woman's always just been very fascinating to me.
Well,
She-
that means, Kristen, we don't got to think about 3 things for 3 Sundays.
Okay. All right, Kizzy, you got until 4 Sundays from now.
Oh, that's right.
Deadline. Timer's up. I'm gonna go
Yep.
count down.
So I'm working on something for school that Christine's gonna put a spin on for the channel too. I'm working on. You guys remember the Buffalo shooting, the Tops grocery store Buffalo shooting?
Yes.
So I'm working on a little documentary for that, and then Christine's gonna doctor it all up for me for the channel so that it can be played on here. So I have to do it for a project on anti-racism and racism.
Oh, wow.
In our
Oh, I
world.
can't wait.
And that's just the one that I picked. So I've been deep into research for that.
And then Allie Erickson is doing her addiction series
Oh,
soon,
yes.
and I'm going to take her part in that.
I know,
Oh,
isn't
look
it-
at you.
Like, isn't that exciting? But it's not exciting. It's exciting to do something with Allie, but it's like, it's such a tough topic. But
It is,
it's
but
gonna
it's an
very
be
close to my heart. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
interesting though, because she's assembled like enough people that from different perspectives of addiction and how it affects different people and spouses and parents and
the
siblings
family.
and that you know
Yeah.
and addicts themselves. And it's like, I think it's going to be a very interesting.
It's important to touch on
I'm really looking forward
what
to that.
community needs.
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm really proud of our little true crime community that we have going here, covering, not afraid to cover and tackle some of the harder topics. I like that. And I just think, this is what a true crime community should be, or what I would want it to
And
be anyway.
Tiffany gave us a shout out the other day, which we appreciate very much. I don't see her in chat or anything, but
Tiffany's
she gave us
amazing.
a shout out on her channel, and she goes, yeah, and so you guys can go over there. It's very it's safe around the kids. They don't even cuss very much. It's very, I would almost call it PG.
I think compared to how some crazy crap goes
Yes,
on over at
it chats wild out.
channels, it
Mhm.
probably is PG compared to that because she gets very deep into like Summer Wells and some of these other kid cases, and man, it can cause some tension. Like, I'm just gonna put it nicely. It causes some
Yeah.
tension. So this
Tiffany
is
puts
probably
her
very
heart
PG.
into that kid's case. She
Oh,
can't
God,
help it.
she
And
does.
she's so good when it comes to other creators, and especially when we first started, like, she loves Teresa. She really does. Like, and she's so supportive. She's been, remember your
Aw.
very first one she put out there, and then the intro she put out there. She's just
She did.
Tiffany's an amazing
I do.
person.
I like, as Jen was saying, I like how it's almost like we're creating our own little corner of YouTube with like very intelligent, well-spoken
Yep.
people who actually care about the case, but everybody has such a different idea and different approach to it. Like to
Mhm.
these cases, it's
It's nice.
so interesting to be able to listen to them and panel with people, and
Yes.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
It's a lot
I
more
lo-
positive than negative these days.
I agree. It's refreshing and it was needed. And the thing is, this is what I enjoy. I enjoy you, Teresa, as a creator and the way that you cover cases. But I also enjoy when even if it's not me on panel, when it's other people on panel, where you're talking about true crime in a specific case or multiple cases, and everybody is working together and bringing their own thoughts and opinions and ideas, to a case. And I think that YouTube is big enough for everybody, and I thoroughly enjoy seeing content creators collaborating and going on each other's panels and supporting each other.
That's it.
Like I enjoy that. It makes
Listen,
it more fun.
Me too.
when
I
we're
love
all
it.
helping each other and supporting each other, it leaves no room for the stupid, silly mess. You know what I mean? Because you can just clearly see what it is when you're working and you're supporting and you're doing what's right and you're doing what's good. Everything
And
else.
I've been
it
so
just
lucky
shows.
to have the opportunity to make like Jen's and Allie's channels, like to do like design work for them that people are seeing. So that's been
Yes.
fun for me too.
And
so I've always talked about Allie, and Allie, for whatever reason, it was the right day. She was the right person to give me the push that I needed to actually come on here and go live. And so and Allie's she's just such her soul just is so pure and just good. You can feel it,
she's
like when
just a
she's talking,
genuinely good person.
and you can tell. And I love it. And I'm like, Christine, I'm like, I want to do something to like thank her. I'm like, so can you make like a cool design, like background or something cool that just like screams Allie Erickson, you know? And so then we got to surprise her with that. It was freaking awesome. And she was like, what in the world?
Yeah, she was so grateful. And, you know, Christine, you guys that are listening, Christine does awesome, awesome work. And so if you need graphic design work, you should hit Christine up because she's reasonable about it with the pricing. And she's very, very good at what she does. She took my little intro that everybody liked and she made it better. And she's just great. All you girls are
Christine
great.
has a knack of like literally seeing the person. Like she can.
Yes.
She gets in there and she's like, okay, this is, I mean, you can still, it has a touch of Christine to it, obviously, but it's like she sees what you want and what you're looking for, and she makes it like out of nothing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I think this just goes up back to like we all really love what we do, you know, like
Yeah.
we all really enjoy it. So
Well,
I love
and
doing
FYI,
that.
she doesn't just do like YouTube stuff. Like she does all kinds of graphic design for tons of different things. She has tons of projects she works on all the time. So it's not just like for YouTube creators, but I mean, yeah, you guys can reach out to YouTube creators because she does amazing work. But I'm saying for anything, you know, whatever you're looking for that needs some type of design, she's got you.
Thank you guys. I appreciate that.
And plus, if you have her on your panel and you're doing a roast, she giggles, and that giggle is so infectious that everybody else giggles, including me. And I, you know how
calls me out.
Yeah, he does. Everybody does. I see it in the chat all the time, and even in the comments about after the live about how infectious your laugh is, how infectious your
really
giggle is, and it really is. It really is.
Okay, guys, thanks.
You're welcome.
Well, then you got my lovely Mia Moore over here, whose face I absolutely adore.
Yes.
I would not even be doing half of the cases I'm able to do without her immense research into these cases and her commitment to, especially the kids cases. Anything that has to do with kids, she's all over. She's like, all right, what case? Let me pull my binder. You know, let me get my
the day that I can ever
out.
tell her something first, I'll fall over and turn to ice. I swear.
Yeah, Michelle, you do excellent research. Excellent
Really
research.
And it's getting better and better. So I want everybody to know, like, this is not just a one person show. Like, this is made and created because everybody does come together and we do care about each other and we care about, you know, the people that we're talking about. We care about the outcomes and what happens, and it all works because we come together with our differences of opinion, and nobody has to think the same, because gosh knows there's nobody on this panel that thinks the same ever.
No. Though.
Well, now that Christine thinks that Scotty Peterson might be innocent, we're getting closer.
We're getting there.
You know what I mean? But it's perfect because there's such a level of respect that I don't care if people disagree with me. I don't care if people believe what I believe. They don't care if I disagree with them. We use it to build and become better and learn. And there's just nothing better than that. There's no like underlying like, oh, what's gonna happen tomorrow. It's just perfect. It just always comes together, always flows, and everybody holds a special piece. You got these amazing wrenches, Missy, BR's not here tonight, Queen, Jeanette. I mean, there's just everybody. It's a village, man. I'm telling you, it's not one person. And then all you amazing subs who come in and make it so easy to talk to and answer questions.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't, like I said, I don't care if there's 10. I don't care if there's 100. It doesn't matter to me because I love the conversations and I love this brain stimulation on how to process stuff. So I don't want to say anymore because then I'm just gonna get cheesy and it's gonna sound.
I love you for that though. Look at all those.
Yeah.
Feelings. Love it.
And I know that was hard for Teresa. Teresa and I don't deal in the feelers. That's why
we're not doing the feelings, but I just need you guys to know that.
Yes.
I want you guys to know that, and it's important to me that you guys know that, even though I'm not good with feelings.
You're doing good. We love
You're
it.
doing excellent. I mean, the closest to talking about feelings Teresa and I ever get is
That's about it. We're good. Okay, Jen Lou, that's it. We're done.
that's it. That's it. So everyone's
2022
y'all.
feelings are done.
right.
No more this year.
You know how, listen, do you think Teresa ever comes out and says, other than tonight, Jen Lou, I just adore you? No. You know what she sends me? And I send her, get in, loser. We're going caring. And it's the Care Bear. That's it.
That's the
how-
feelings that we have.
That's how we show each other we care.
Love.
It's so
But I
true,
told you,
though.
Teresa, that if we could be we could be the example instead of just being like disgruntled. We should be the example of the change we wanted, and I think we're doing it. And I'm proud of us.
you
All of
proud
us.
Yeah, I'm proud of all of us.
I'm proud of all of us.
Proud of all of us.
I am. We should be.
That's right.
We should be proud of all of us.
I agree. Making it fun. I'm done.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you everybody that's been
Thank
chatting
you.
on the channel. Thank you everybody. If you guys just before you leave, make sure you hit the like button. It's the easiest way to show your support and love for the channel. So, and once again, I appreciate all of you. Go enjoy your weekend. Do not forget to go over to the Word Case Studies tomorrow,
Yes.
where there will be covering the Yaser Said opening statements. She already has one up from earlier today if you guys want to catch up on that. And then Sunday night, Word Case Studies again with Christine G. That's me. I don't know what they're going to be covering, but and then I'll let you guys know. Michelle and I are going to be paneling with ATS and CDT on Dylan rounds. I'll let you guys know that's coming up. It's not scheduled yet. So
Okay.
I'll push the button, T.
what was that?
I'll push the button.
Oh, okay. You push
Wait,
that.
I'll
please
hang
say
up.
your Friday thing. You could
What do
be
I say?
anywhere in the world.
Be anywhere in the world on a Friday night, and you all choose to be here with us, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
There we go.
Yes. Thank you guys. Good night.
Good night. Good night. Good night.
Okay.